That's $10,000, Connor. Ha ha! Yeah! 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 This show is not for sharpshooters. This show is a fucking machine gun. There's no chewy center to this show. It's all hard candy. This show is not a sniper on a fucking roof. This show is a drone taking out a village. Do not invite me into your house because I will come in and I will wreak fucking havoc. Hey, what's happening? Mike Schmidt's 40-Year-Old Boy podcast. Folks, I come to you right now live from Lily Von Stup's studio in Hollywood. The oldest building in Hollywood. The oldest studio in Hollywood. the hottest stripping producer in Hollywood, the biggest mouth in Hollywood. Look, let's just set parameters here. These are what we need. We need measurements of what we're having in Hollywood. Although, actually, last week's show was about measurements. Let's not talk about measurements anymore because it spurred quite a reaction from people. I'm going to... fuck. Do I even... All right. I had to talk to my wife on the phone. And we were talking about, because there's taxes and life still. And I don't know how to fucking broach this subject ever with anybody anymore, because I'm stupid. Because people in my inner circle, and then you guys, not that you're not in my inner circle. Oh, folks, you're all in my inner circle. You're all, my life is just one big Google Plus, and you're all involved. Right now, I can reach out and touch everybody. Right now, listen, if you can hear my voice, anyone who's within the sound of my voice, please know you are in the inner circle. You know the handshake, you know the wink. I like to wink. I'm a wink. Fuck it. I was pissed. Mark Maron tweeted that the other day. He's like, I'm becoming a winker. Fuck you. I've been a winker for years. Not that he can't be a winker, but sure enough, then he writes that he's a winker. And then, well, someone wrote that. They're like, what a difference an A and an IMAX. Ha, ha, ha. And then he was like, fuck you, cunt. Or whatever he says to people on Twitter. Mark Maron that is a rage ball. That guy, I don't know him at all. Like I said, I've told you, I was in a room with him before I ever met him, and he sucked all the air out of it because he was getting ready to go on stage. And then I did his show, and he could not have been more kind or nice. And we had, I see why he's so successful. Okay, because first of all, he doesn't get nearly the respect he should get as a stand-up comedian. He is a fucking genius. Listen to his stand-up, and you're just like, oh yeah, that's how it's supposed to be done. And I know that sounds weird because guys like Louis and Patton, those guys are amazing, but Mark lives it. Mark is a fucking comedian. And I know that sounds weird to say. Louis is too. And everybody is in their own way. But when you see Mark, you think of fucking Carlin and Pryor. I do. I mean, I was in my car the other day, not even Travis Barbecue. I was going somewhere. And I fucking had to sit in a parking lot till he was finished on my thing. And it embarrasses me that I don't own his stuff. Unfortunately, I'm in no position to buy fucking anything right now. But I want to buy his stuff. And you know who else I want to buy? Holy shit. You know who I've been watching fucking recently? Patrice O'Neal. God damn it. What a fucking genius that guy was. I mean, it's just, and just this bombastic personality. I saw him, he did Def Jam. There's a clip of him doing Def Jam. And just holding the audience completely in every on because he wasn't, there's a Def Jam comic, and you see Def Jam comics and they work a certain way. Well, Patrice worked his way. He never even fucking thought about it. And when he died, I talked about him on here a little bit, but I mean, the more I see of him, the more I just go, Jesus Christ, I can't even be, I'm not even in the same fucking stratosphere as those guys, in the same planet. I'm not even in the same block, for fuck's sake. Seriously, I mean, because I think I'm funny and I'm good at what I do, but then you see Mark Maron, who is, he's a fucking comedian, man. He just is. It's like Pardo. It's just music. They got it, you've got it or you don't. And I fucking got it, but I don't have it to that degree. Like like if I was in a fucking comedy orchestra, I'd be like in the front row of the bassoon. But those guys are in the back with fucking tubas. Those guys are the fucking tubas of comedy. I'm a goddamn bassoon. Nobody wants to hear a bassoon on its own, but a fucking tuba solo, you would pay to see that. Those guys are timpani, man. Those guys are fucking timpani. I'm a triangle. God damn it. I'm the fucking triangle of comedy. Marin, Pardo, fucking Patrice, those guys are timpani. Those guys are the fucking booming drums, the big kettle drums and all that shit. Those guys are the wild-eyed fucking orchestra conductor. I'm the fucking baton. That's all I am. I'm a triangle, I'm a baton. That's it. But I'm aspiring. Possibly I'll move up. Who knows, folks? I'm not sure. With your help, with the help of the inner circle. I can find out and move up for myself. The fuck was I talking about before I spun off into Mark?
You were talking about winking.
Oh, fuck yeah, I fucking winker. I'm a winker. Stop it, man. I like to wink. All righty, I just winked at Lily. There you go. I had to be quiet to wink there because you can't talk and wink because that's fucking strange. I just did it. That was weird. It felt bad.
Kind of gross.
Yeah, it's nasty. You gotta be talking and just go, look at that. And there should be a ding noise. Shouldn't there be a ding noise? It's like ding. I can't decide if I'm a left or a right winker. Bullshit. You know what? I'm a multifaceted winker. I go either one. I'm an ambidextrous winker. My eyes work either way, folks. I can blink either one. My eyes, well, first of all, they're the window of my soul. We all know that, right? If I have one, I don't know if I have one still. I've been photographed so much recently, perhaps it's been stolen by some sort of Native American ghost. Some guy put that on my Facebook page or on one of my pages. I don't know, the Joker's page or something. He put the Indian guy from Poltergeist, the scary dude, is like, "You're all gonna die," and he's like, "I think this is Mike's trainer at the fucking gym." Oh, and dude, I got to tell you about something that happened at the gym. See, I'm stuck.
Wait.
What?
You talked to your wife about something.
No. Yeah, we shouldn't. That's not a thing to talk about ever. Well, all right, let's put it this way. I was starting to say that I don't know, people don't know how to talk to me. And the inner circle knows about Karen and I. We've split, unfortunately. But then there are those places you go that you used to go all the time together, and they haven't gotten wind of it yet. For some reason, the Pony Express has not deposited my telegram at all of the stores and restaurants we used to frequent. So when you go into a place with, San's wife, there's this joint I go to all the time, and it's like a Mediterranean place, and I've talked about it on here. I have a shish tawuk, I have a grilled trout, I have a rice pilaf, I have a salad, I have hummus. Hummus, the best hummus in the fucking world. Love it. Huge fan. So because I'm Travis Barbecue now, I don't order out. I'm trying to conserve as much money as I can because I'm a cash-only operation, folks. So I'm trying to keep as much money as I can to pay my bills and buy grooming products. That never ceases to amaze me. I'm like, fuck, I can't go eat. What's this, $100 for soap? Yes, let's do it. I gotta have special soap because apparently I'm a horse. The fuck is wrong with me? I gotta have some weird special suds at 46. No, man, this skin, I can't expose this to a fucking Coast. Fuck you, Coast. Take off blue soap. I gotta go white crunchy soap. Yeah, damn it. I'm yoked for soap. I'm a soap yoker. I'm a winker and a yoker. I'm a goddamn soap winker yoker. Holy shit, I love language. All right. So, so I go to these places and they don't know me anymore. And where was I? Was it? Oh, food. Okay. So I don't, so they know me, but they, I used to have a friend with me at all times who had big tits, and they would be like, hey, they would tolerate me because she was there. So there's this joint now with the and I've been there a couple of times because if I'm not eating at Travis Barbecue Land, I'm not eating, as you know. I eat a couple meals a week. That's fine. It's working out so far, I think. I'm alive, right? I'm alive. Take that, Facebook poltergeist poster. Poltergeist. You're not gonna die. That weird Indian dude, creepy. And how can you eat after watching Poltergeist? You know what? I would prefer to have the crazy Indian guy at my screen door than a fucking crawling steak with maggots in it, right?
Whoa.
Yeah. How scary was that scene when you were a kid? And by the way, conversely, how non-scary is it now? Like when you were a kid and you saw that dude tear all of his skin off in the mirror and you're like, holy fucking God. But now you see it and you're like, nah, fake. Because everything's fake now, folks. You know that. It was fake then. No, I don't know if that was his last movie. He actually, that guy was a method actor from the fucking jump. Oh my God. Fuck you, Strasbourg method. This guy's got it down. He actually became a teacher after that. It was only one class as he tore the flesh off his face again. And that's not a class you want to take, folks. The tearing the flesh off of your face acting class, rarely are you going to get parts after that. Rarely. It's only once in a long while that part that comes through and wants to cast you to tear all the flesh off your face. It doesn't happen often. Go see the movies. I'm telling you now, go see any movie. If you see a scene where a guy's tearing flesh off of his face, I will give you $20, folks. That seems high. I'll give you $1. So it's not, basically what I'm saying is it's not an acting skill you need to acquire. It's too dangerous. There's just not, if we lived in a world where every film featured somebody tearing their flesh off of their face, then by all means, go learn that skill. That's something you need to bring to the table. And the messy, messy table covered with your flesh. Oh, grim. You're not gonna die! You're not dead! All right. I'm just going to some guy wrote me, he's like, my favorite part is people who don't know what that means. Because first of all, it means nothing. All right, can I just tell you that right now? That means fuck all to anybody. It's just a stupid noise you make when you're like flexing or lifting weights or in some involuntary. Because again, yoked. Vascular. All right, so But people will write me and they'll be like, some guy wrote me, it was my favorite thing, and he's just like, I swear I've listened to all the shows. Are you saying yart, dirt, dirt? What are you saying? The spelling out is my favorite part. Everybody's got their own spelling. Look, yart, dirt, dirt belongs to everyone at this point, right, folks? But so I had to write him, and I go, and this is true. And I felt, let me tell you something. Listen to the insight I'm about to bring to you, folks. All right, hold on. Here's some insight for you. Haha. I just winked. There you go, Lily. You missed the little ding. Here's some insight. I couldn't believe myself that I came up with this insight in the moment. I was trying to explain to this guy on Twitter. So I have 140 characters to explain. And so I said, it's just a dumb noise you make. What was that? Because the first thing I said was, it's a dumb noise my friend made when we chest bumped a guy in Texas. Like, but that doesn't that explains nothing.
That's beautiful.
Because it's some stupid thing that we all did, you know what I mean? It's just because we did it, and Mex did it, and Jeff, and it's just a dumb. It was like when we started headbutting for no reason. Or when we all fucking barked. Oh my God, we barked. Well, we didn't really bark, but the bears were barking, so we were all dogs. I told that story on here a million times. Nobody cares. Actually, bullshit. You care. Everybody cares. So I tried to explain to him. So basically, this is what I said. I said, you know what? I said, it's like a bastardized version of, yeah, that's right. And I was like, you know what? That's totally right. Yeah, that's right. So it's kind of close. So if you're having a stroke and you try to say, yeah, that's right, that's what's going to come out of you at that point. You just grab your chest and you feel the tightening and you're just like, that's how it works. All right. So I again, no one knows how to talk to me. You guys do. Again, inner circle. You all know. We're all aware. And all we need to do is exchange what? A wink, and we know exactly where we're at. But people outside of the inner circle, they don't know what the wink means. And they also don't know what it means that I'm alone and I don't have a wife with me and I'm solo at a place where I used to have a wife with me all the time. So I've gone to this place and I've gotten food a few times and it's just been to go. Because again, I don't sit anywhere or do anything ever. It doesn't make any sense. And also I'm alone. What the fuck? Just me and a phone? Lonely in a room full of Armenians? I can't do that. Because inevitably all of them ask me to look up the genocide and feel bad about it. Look, I feel bad about it, all right? Yes, I know the Armenian genocide. I've heard all about it. Thank you. Can I enjoy my fucking falafel? Because those people, I'll tell you, that chatty about the genocide. Whatever. You commit one genocide against one particular race of people, and that race never fucking forgets it. Good for you, folks. No, don't enjoy your cabbage salad. Let's talk about the genocide and how much we hate the Turks. Yeah, that's you wonder why I take my food to go. So I'm sitting there. I went there last night because yesterday, folks, I don't know if you're aware of this. My CD came out yesterday.
Yeah.
The Big Angry is the name of the CD. It is available at all media platforms. It's available on Amazon. It's available in iTunes. It's available at your mom's house. That's right, because I am your dad now, folks. So it's available now, and a lot of you out there have already purchased it, and you're very nice. Well, we can talk about. We'll get to that in a minute. But so yesterday, I was real happy. And it was kind of cool. And that's why I almost don't want to do a show today. I'll be honest with you guys, because I only do this show so you guys all tell me how great I am for a couple of days, and then it kind of falls by the wayside. So I already got that this week. Like I put out a CD, and then everybody's like, "Yeah, dude, you're the man." And I'm like, "Yep, Wednesday I have to take it off. Just gonna do nothing. Let's run a clip show." And then Lily's like, "Yeah, you know you're wrong, right? You're only as good as your last show." And I went, "Fuck, why do you tell me that?" Yeah, wake it up. So yeah, I yesterday, you guys, again, I don't mean this in a weird, maudlin, stupid way, but you'll know what I'm talking about. I used to have a friend with me at all times who I could look at and go, "Isn't this cool? This is cool." And that friend isn't there anymore. So I don't have anybody to look at and go, "Isn't this cool? This is cool." So I'll wind up alone sometimes and it's quiet, and then there's something to celebrate or something that you like, and you can't look at anybody. I lost the person I winked at. Ha! So, look at the way I brought that around, folks. How good am I at this? How good am I at this? And I almost took this week off. I was gonna, until Lily got out the cattle prod and was like, "Get to work." And you think I'm kidding? She actually has a cattle prod. Yeah, it's in that. That's my favorite part. It's in that bag. That should be the name of the show. It's in that bag. So yesterday, man, it was awesome. I was really excited, and then I didn't have to work yesterday. I had no Travis barbecue. and I have things that I'm supposed to do this week, but the CD was coming out. And I was excited, and I had nobody to kind of I don't know, throw it around. What the fuck? I don't know what the phrase I'm looking for is, but so last night I kind of wanted to go out and do something. I was like, well, let's. And the thing is, look, I could have gone. I should have gone to an open mic. I should have gone and performed. There's a million fucking things I should have done, but I just instead I called Lily to see if she was busy, and she was. So I just kind of went, well, what are you going to do? I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go eat something because I haven't eaten out in like forever. And I'm going to go sit there. I'm going to go hang out. So I went and I went to the Mediterranean joint, and I had I had fish and I had some rice. And I'll tell you this, let's talk about this for a second. I don't eat anymore because eating is for the weak. I'll have some yogurt. And by the way, I should tell you this. I always have yogurt and toast and bananas and stuff like that. Toast out of the rotation. Toast is now removed from the rotation, folks, because it's bread, man. You can't be eating that bread. So the reason I was still eating toast was I had bread in the freezer. Like I bought like 4 loaves a month ago. So I would take them out and I would have them on and I would eat toast because it was quick and handy and it was easy. Well, you know what? It's too quick and it's too handy and it's too fucking easy because you shouldn't be eating bread, folks. You should eat something else. Eat some almonds. Eat a banana. Eat some yogurt. Eat another yogurt. Eat 3 yogurts. Do something. Consecutively. Actually, yes. Not even consecutively. Eat them at the same time. Open 3 different yogurts and then close your eyes and just dip a spoon in one. You don't even know what the taste is going to be. It's going to be amazing. Some days it's going to be a blueberry. Someday it might be lemon. You know what I bought yesterday? Apricot Chobani. I fucking hate apricots. I think you know this. When I did supplies, those little orange candies, fuck apricots. And you know what's weird? I love oranges. And apricots are orange, so by proxy, at least I should sort of give them the benefit of the doubt because they're still orange. You should associate the color at least because they're still in the orange family. I don't mind the orange family. Again, not Billy Bob Thornton. It's the second week in a row I've referenced his weirdness. Last week I said I wasn't afraid of furniture like Billy Bob Thornton. Today I'm not afraid of orange like Billy Bob Thornton. You guys are afraid of a lot of shit. You know who's not? Me. Although I will tell you this, I'm deathly afraid of Billy Bob Thornton. If that guy shows up with a guitar, oh my God, I will never run faster in my life. Jesus Christ. I would much rather, you know what? If Billy Bob Thornton showed up right now, if there was a knock on the door, it was Billy Bob Thornton with a guitar, I would leap out of this fucking window onto a bedbug couch and sleep for an hour. I would. That's how great my fear is of Billy Bob Thornton with a guitar and his singing career. Career? That's a stretch. What the fuck am I talking about? Yes, career. It's Billy Bob Thornton. He's been on television to sing, you dumb fuck. You just put out a CD that you had to schlep yourself to the goddamn post office. You don't get to fucking play celebrity on anybody. Billy Bob Thornton is doing very well. Thank you. You know what we're going to have to do? Send him an orange coffee table. Because that's like his kryptonite. That'll weaken him. He'll totally fucking collapse. He can never shop at Orange IKEA. All right. What the fuck was I talking about? So I go to dinner, and I'm there, and I'm lurking, and they're super busy, and I don't eat. So I ordered a big meal, dude. I ate like none of it. I couldn't. Because I started eating it, and they had a cabbage salad but it had like too much dressing on it for me. But because I usually don't get dressing, and then they made the rice pilaf. But this is going to sound so stupid. I used to eat there 3 times a week. Karen would say, "Where do you want to eat?" And I'd go, "Well, let's go to Hyatt's." And she'd just be like, "Oh," and I go, "Well, wherever you want to go is fine." And then I would go and I wouldn't eat because I would pout. And guess what? She left. So now she goes wherever she wants to eat. Look at that. Things worked out perfectly for you. And so do I. I eat in the dark. It's so great. Winking at nobody. So I started eating the food last night. Dude, it just didn't taste good. It didn't taste right. Like I could actually taste the butter in the rice. I could really taste I ate the fish because the trout is fucking amazing. I just covered it with like 3 lemon wedges. I fucking squeezed them all over it and I went to work. And I ate the little fish. There's a little trout head that comes with it. They cook it up and you just fucking eat that. You gnaw on it. You don't eat the trout head? I do. Because that's no, dude. Fish cheek is totally awesome. And it's funny. I took a picture of the little fish head guy. Because they split the trout. They put it on it's a fucking huge trout. But then his head's attached, and you can pick him up, and he's still got his eyes. So I always used to freak out Karen. Hey, look, and whatever. But I took a photo of him last night. Ding, he was winking at me, that fish. But I held up his little head. And he doesn't look like a trout anymore. He looked like a Godzilla. He like a little Godzilla. I took the picture. I was fascinated by it because no matter what angle I tried, I couldn't make him look like a trout anymore. I guess raging open flame will do that to your face. I suppose. I don't know. I'm not a fireman. Although I should be. Oh my God, how great of a fireman would I be? Remember I almost climbed that fire engine a long time ago? That was good. When I thought they needed help, I'm an idiot. All right, so when you think about I think about shit like that. I'm just like, what the fuck, dummy? All right. So at the end of the meal, which I did not eat, I ate the fish, and then I ate like 2 bites of rice and 2 bites of cabbage salad, and I used to fucking revel in that. But I ate all the hummus still. I'm just fucking with the goddamn hummus. But still, even the hummus had like a weird sour zing to it. And you know what's funny? I usually like sour zings. I buy them all the time. It's a candy, right? Isn't it? I don't know. I bought that sour candy. Oh, I hate that sour candy. When you fucking put it in your mouth and it sucks all the moisture out of your face and you look like a raisin head. Grim. So let's talk more about things that go in my mouth. Anyway, so I was there eating, and then at the end of the meal, I went to pay, and I gave them my card, and I took care of it. And then the guy who works there looked at me and he goes, "Hey," he goes, "how's your wife?" And I said, "Oh," and he goes, "You know what? Never mind. I apologize." He goes, "I don't know if it's your wife or your girlfriend. I never know. But how is she? Is she good?" I go, "You know what? She's neither now." Now you know what I could have said? "She's fine." I could have absolutely just looked at him and said, "She's good." And he would have said, "Great." But instead, I opened up a 10-minute conversation with him about his divorce and what he's going through. And he has kids. And then I have this. And what the fuck am I doing? And why the fuck did I do that? Why did I do that? I should have just said, "Hey, cabbage salad," and run away. I should have just run away. That's it. But instead, he's like, "Is your wife or girlfriend?" I never know if it's your wife or your girlfriend. She's neither now. And he's like, "Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to bring it up." I go, "No, you're just saying hello. That's fine." He goes, "Well, I'm going through the same thing, and I got kids, and then I got this wife, and, we together." I said, "Yeah, we were together 20 years. And he's like, "Whoa. Well, yeah, man, I hope you're okay." And I'm just like, "Yeah, it's been a while." I go, "She's happy. I'm happy. That's fine." I go, "I'm not really happy, but who cares? And I'm not going to tell you, the guy who makes my salad, that I'm not happy." Although I sure do feel like plunging into that story. Now, hey, you got a second there, Danny? Let's have a seat. Let's talk about this. Get some hummus and some celery sticks, and I'll tell you all about the tale of the guy who sits in the dark. How about that? Can we do that? But instead, just go make your food. Leave me alone. It was my fault. I could have just said, "She's fine. She's good. I'll tell you I said hi." No, instead, I had to fucking broach that fucking subject because I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. I don't know how to talk, as you know. So I was talking to her on the phone. And she goes, "Well, I guess you're having fun." Or was that what she said? I forget what it was. Just some because we're trying to straighten out. So, and again, I should tell you, we are on friendly terms. I mean, it's not awkward or mean. We just recognize that this is the way it is, and we got to do stuff. So we were talking the other day, and she said, she asked me, I forget how she broached the subject. And I said, because it went right over my head. And she goes, "I saw that picture." And I said, "What picture?" She goes, "I saw the picture of the cake."
Really?
And I said, "Oh, okay." And she just goes, "So did your girlfriend make that for you?" And I said, I don't know what you're talking about. That's a weird question." And she said, "Well, someone wouldn't just make you a cake that says 'I love you, Mike' on it if they were just like a friend or something like that. So I just figured that that's what they did." And I just go, are we talking about this for real? Is that, and she goes, "Well," I'm just going to say that whoever it is really needs work on their cake decorating skills." And then she laughed for like an hour. It's like she would not stop laughing. But here's the thing. This is what I was thinking the entire time. She's talking and we're talking, and that comes up, and then she starts laughing about the cake thing, and I'm like, "Oh, look at you cracking yourself up." And she goes, "Come on, that was funny." And I go, "Yeah, okay, I guess that was funny." And she keeps laughing, and she laughs more. But it just kind of drove home that even in 20 years, like maybe she didn't like know me at all. Maybe I don't know, because. Do you really think that someone made me a cake and then I put a cock hole? I mean, it just made like that she took that on its face to be something for real. Like you wouldn't just look at it and go, "This is fucking ludicrous. What are you doing? What wacky hijinks are you up to now?" But she immediately went to a place where she's like, "Well, yeah, did your girlfriend make you that cake?" And I'm like, "What the what?" So I mean, like I didn't know what to say. It was just like kind of strange. And I just laughed it off, ha ha ha. And then we talked about taxes or whatever the fuck. But it was just this fucking weird. This it was like a light switch got turned on for just a second, and then it got turned back off. You know what I mean? Everything was fine. We were in the dark talking about taxes, and then I was like, oh, by the way, click. What the fuck? Weirdness. Hold on. Turn the light back off. All right, good. And then we talked for like an hour, and it was great. She's because we get along, and everything seems to be fine, and we're not mad, and nobody's upset. But it was just that weird flash of like, which and I probably would have the same thing if I saw if I saw her with a dude or something at the movies or whatever, and not because I care to I hope she's happy and good, but it would still make you go, nah, that's not something that I'm used to ever. But of course, mine would have to be a living, breathing human being standing next to her, not a cake on fucking Facebook. I mean, I don't know how you make that fucking leap, but that's fine. My favorite is she thinks someone actually made me a cake and wrote "I love you, Mike" on it, and then what? She didn't even mention the hole. That was my favorite part. Like, to her, I think all she saw was the "I love you, Mike" on the cake and just went, and that was it. That was her takeaway from it. She didn't even see the fucking cock hole in it. Like, ridiculous. So I just, that was strange. And it really makes me wonder how she's going to react when I put up the picture of the pie. Here's my girlfriend now. Here's my girlfriend now. I'm dating Dolly Madison. She's a real sour zinger. Look at that. I brought it back. All right. Did I say sour zinger earlier? I think I did. I don't know. Sour. I thought zing? Sour zing? What did I say? I don't know. Who knows? I got no fucking clue at this point. I'm talking in circles. As I do every week here at the oldest building in Hollywood with the hottest producer, burlesque producer in Hollywood. Lily Bunchta, putting together a Hollywood Burlesque Festival, and she's going on the road and doing more stuff. She's going to Vegas and hosting some shows, and I have road stuff coming up, which is going to be fun. Trying to put together. I will tell you this. All right, let's talk about this for just a second. I wrote this on Facebook. Hey, another live date in the books. And I woo. Here's me telling you, I no longer have another live date in the books, folks. Because I talked to a city. I don't want to say where because I'm still working. I'm efforting on this new city. But I was talking to someone there, this woman who ran a theater. And let me tell you about this theater. First of all, I've never been there. And they do this thing. Like, I write you an email. Lily's been going through this too with people, where you write them an email and it has all your specs in it. Like, it tells you everything. It has all the information. I'm a professional person, and though I don't answer emails, I certainly know how to craft a decent one when I have to. So I wrote, I'm a comedian from Los Angeles looking to rent the theater for one night. I will be selling the tickets myself online at Brown Paper Tickets. I'm willing to discuss whatever. These are the dates I'm looking for, all that stuff. So they write me back and they're like, hello and welcome and thank you for your interest in our theater. We really think you should come and check out the space and take a look at it, and then we can talk further about, oh my God, I'm in fucking Los Angeles. I am not taking a plane up to look at your goddamn basement so I can see if I can talk in it. I can talk in it. Trust me. I've talked in rooms all over this fucking country. You don't need me to come and look at it and go, yeah, my voice will carry here. Nobody gives a shit. All right. I just... Do you have a roof? Do you have seats? Do you have a microphone and amplification? Let's do a fucking show. Let's get the Brady kids and the Archies and let's fucking put it together, goddammit. But that's just me. That's how I feel inside. I can't do that with the people. If for real, I would never work anywhere in this goddamn country. Yet. Because when it hits and when I'm actually that guy and people I'm kind of in demand, oh my God, can I be a jagoff to people and it's going to be hysterical. But right now I can't because I you know what I wanted to be? I wanted to throw bombs all over the place and fucking, I will tell you this, folks. I've been entertaining the idea of doing a couple shows in a city. But it's a big thing because I need to know that you guys would buy tickets because otherwise I'm fucked because everything's kind of razor's edge at this point. So I rent a theater for one night and then I sell the tickets I sell for that one night and I get a lot of people from all over the place. That's the thing. Like, when I play in San Francisco, people come from Nevada, people come from all over the place, which is really nice and that's great. So I'm trying to get to as many. I'm actually trying to find cities that are kind of off my grid. All right, I'll tell you this. You know where I was close to doing a show, folks? Does it make sense to do that? To say where I was close? Lily says it's not. No, because here's the thing. You never tell people what they don't get.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
No.
All right.
You shouldn't tell
But all right, I'll just tell you this story real fast. I had a show and I thought it was square and I was excited. It was a city I've never it's a city I've been to but not with the one man. And so I was like, all right, this will be fun. And then it just fucking fell apart. And it's such a tenuous thing to talk to people. And this lady and I talked for 35 minutes on the phone. We were getting along great. I was going to ask her out. It seemed like it was really going well. I Skyped her. I actually installed Skype on my machine so I could just wink at her at the end of the phone call. That was perfect. It was great. Ding. But it was everything. She's like, you know what? I've got 2 dates. And I said, I actually want one of them. You can pencil me in right now. I want it. She goes, well, I know, but we have this troupe and they're deciding between which of the 2 dates they want. And I said, hey, guess what? I've got a solution for you. Tell them they can have this date and I'll take the date that I want. So then you're not dark one of the nights. See, because I can't take the other date. And she said, oh, okay, well, that makes sense. You know, I just need to make a decision on that. It's going to be probably like 24 to 36 hours. And I'm like, we're not hunting down a terrorist. I don't know why it has to be 36 hours. If you say give me a day or 2, that's fine. But it seemed weird that you went 24 to 36 hours. But that's fine. I don't want to tell anybody how to run their theater. Bullshit. I want to tell everybody how to run their theater. I just don't think it's my place yet. And then she said, okay, great. I have to figure out what it's going to be and I'll call you back. And she never called me back. Never called me back. I called her 3 times and could never get her back on the phone. And it's so funny. I will tell you this, you know, I will talk to the people and I get squared away and I tell them what I need in the room and I tell them how long the show is going to be and all this stuff. Because look, it was a tougher sell before when the show was going to be over 3 hours. Because now I tell them it's probably going to be around 2 hours. Because I still don't even know what the fuck I'm going to do when I go back out on the road. I have no clue. But I tell them, I go, you know, it's probably going to be about 2 hours and I'll probably need a 3rd hour for a meet and greet. And I meet people and I sell stuff and I say hi and I take photos and we all hang out and everybody goes out for a fucking sandwich and it's fun. I go, you're welcome to hang. You're welcome to go with us, whatever you want to do. She's like, well, that sounds great. It sounds like you have a real community relationship with your fans. And I said, yes, I do. And I actually know that I have fans in that area. So it would be nice to have it. And also I'm trying to find places that are kind of located where people can come from all over. Like if I start booking shows that are remote, it's tough to get people to make the haul. And I mean, I've already changed now to Saturdays. Because remember, I couldn't do Saturday before because I was in Graveyardville. So I had to do Fridays. And that made it hard for people because they would work on Friday and then they have to drive or they have to take the day off work to drive 100 miles or whatever the fuck. And it's just rough. And you guys support. That's the things I don't want to just book shit and go, yeah, guess what? Come. Because I want to try to make it easy for you guys to come out because I fucking need a crowd. I need you there. It's not like I'm just like, I'm there and whatever the fuck happens, happens. In the old days, I was like that. That's the fucking way. When I did stand-up, dudes, fucking, I would get booked in rooms and Mike Toomey and I would show up and there would be one person in the fucking room at 8 o'clock. And the show was supposed to start at 8:30. Or no, 7:30. There'd be one person show was supposed to start at 8. And we'd walk in, I'd go, thank God. And it was so funny. Other comedians would be furious. They'd be just like, oh, man, what? No fucking crowd. This is going to suck. And I was just like, I can't wait to get this over with. Either they're going to cancel it or we're going to get to talk to 2 people. I can't wait. That's what I loved to do. I loved to just do my show and kind of talk. And because let's put it away, the less amount of people, the less fucking chance there's a jagoff who's going to ruin it. If there's a room and there's 2 people in the audience and one of them starts being a jagoff, I could just go, hey, jagoff, get the fuck out of here. And he'll go, what do you mean? I want half your audience. I don't give a fuck. Get out. But if you're in a room and there's like 100 people and then 2 guys are jagoffs and you shut them down and another guy's a jagoff, it's just like, I like one big forest fire. I don't want a bunch of fucking fires breaking out all over the joint. All right? I got one hose and it shoots in one fucking direction. I don't need to be fucking spraying it all over the goddamn room. So I would go on the road to do stand-up and I would show up in a room and Toomey and I, did I ever tell the story? Oh, fuck. Toomey and I did some fucking hellhole. And it's, you know what's funny? Siegel will know. Other comics know what I'm talking about. They'll know exactly. We all played above bowling alleys or all this kind of shit, but this was somewhere in Michigan above a bowling alley. I don't fucking know. And we walked, and there were 8 people in the room. And I was so excited. I was like, God damn it, this is going to be great. We're just going to do this show and get the fuck out. And the funny thing is the bartenders and shit, like they think you're mad. They think, oh yeah, you want a crowd for comedy, right? I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I'm here to do my 30 to 35 minutes and then watch my friend Mike be fucking hysterical. And then we get to leave and I get to go to Taco Bell and eat $15 worth of fucking food. That's all I want. I want to get through this hour and a half, 2 hours as painlessly as possible so I can go out and live my fucking life. And that's one of the reasons why Pardo hated taking me on the road, because the show was the worst part of the fucking week for me. Everything else was great. Sitting in the condo with Jimmy and watching fucking comedians demo tapes and fucking hanging out, that was awesome. But then when it came time to the show, I was just like, ugh. It wasn't so bad with Toomey because Toomey and I would just go to do one-nighters and shit like that. And Mike kind of had the same idea I did. He was just like, let's get out of here. Let's get the fuck out of here and just go have fun somewhere. So there were 8 people in the room, and we were so excited to do the show, and they held the show. They go, we're going to hold the show. Show's supposed to start at 8, 8:15, 8:30, 8:45, 9 o'clock. Still 8 people. And in fact, some of them are like paying their tabs and going, well, is there going to be a show or not? Because we're just going to leave if there's no show. And the bartender's like, there's going to be a show. Go ahead and stick around. And then people were just milling about, deciding whether or not to leave. And the bartender goes, you know what? I'll fix this. And we're like, well, you can just, dude, you can cancel the show or we can just do a show for these people. We got no problem with it because we just want to get it over with and get the fuck out of there. And the guy's like, don't worry, I'll fix it. Guess what he did? You know what? I don't even have to tell you to guess. You know exactly what he did. He went down to the bowling alley and told everybody there was a free comedy show upstairs. The 8 people had paid to get in. And were drinking, and they were there for a comedy show. The bowling motherfuckers downstairs were eating nachos and licking their fingers, and the guy said, hey, you want to come up and sit in the dark and not laugh at anything at all? And they were like, yes, absolutely. So all of a sudden, we didn't know he did that. We're sitting by the bar, and a ton of people start walking in. And nobody's checking them for tickets, and they're just sitting wherever they want. And people are sitting in the front and just talking and getting beers. And Toomey and I are just like, what the fuck is going on? Where did a bus full of comedy fans just pull the fuck up? Check that. Did a bus full of non-comedy fans just pull up? And then the bartender comes in and he goes, yeah, I took care of it. We're like, what'd you do? And he goes, well, I just told everybody down in the snack bar and stuff they can come up. There's a free comedy show. And you just gave people license to hate us. Because here's what you did. You just went downstairs and you went, hey, we got a couple of idiots upstairs who aren't funny enough to draw a crowd. Why don't you come up and sit there and judge them silently in the dark? And those people all went, hooray! We're almost out of pickled eggs. Let's get fucking up there now. And they did. The fucking bar and drunks and all these assholes come fucking upstairs. And you know, we did it. We powered through it and did whatever we were going to fucking do to gangster through the fucking show. And then Toomey, of course, was brilliant. That's the thing is I gripped all through it and there was hecklers and I dealt with it and I put it on. I'm just, it's a fucking battle. Then I come off stage and Toomey literally like melted butter. I mean, just fucking oozes all over everybody, has the crowd in 30 seconds and they love him. But there's supposed to be a second show. At 10 o'clock. Well, we didn't even start till like 9:15. So we finished at like 10:30 and the guy's like, well, we're going to do the second show. And I'm like, what do you, how? And the second show, there was one dude there. And he goes downstairs again to get people, but not as many this time. So now there's only like 15 people in the room and that one guy. And the guy who was there by himself is blind. He was the only guy at the comedy show. He's blind. So then they bring up 15 people and they surround him, but he's alone by himself. So they start the show and I get up on stage and I do like 10 minutes and the fucking blind guy starts on me. He starts heckling me 10 minutes into my show. And we'd already been through it and we'd been through a ton of shit and Toomey and I wanted to get the fuck out of there. So I just, folks, look, I'm not good at that. All right. So he starts heckling me and I go, excuse, what? I go, you're starting on me? I go, you were the only guy in here. You wanted to see the show, and 10 minutes in, you're fucking launching on me? And then he tries to start again. He tries to say some shit to me, and I'm like, no, fuck you, Matt Murdock. Fuck you. I don't want to hear anything you have to say. And folks, if you don't know, Matt Murdock is Daredevil in the comic books, and he is blind. And so I called him Matt Murdock. And like to universal disdain, like nobody knew what the fuck I was talking about except Toomey, who fucking loses it at the bar, loses his mind. He's like, Matt Murdock, fuck! Like, I mean, like, you can see it in his face, and he can't stop laughing, and I can hear him. It's so quiet because it's just me and the blind guy having at it that I hear Toomey explaining who Daredevil is to the fucking guy at the bar, the bartender. He has to explain to him who Daredevil is. No, Matt Murdock is Daredevil. He's a blind guy from a comic book. And which, again, that's just a reference to comedians or people, geeks and whatever the fuck. But in a fucking shithole bar above a bowling alley to call a guy Matt Murdock in the middle of the fucking night? And because other people are like, I don't know who that is. Why is that funny? Well, it's funny to Mike Toomey, and that's all I fucking care about at this point. And then he kept fucking heckling. It was the stupidest thing. And I used to do my act and try to get the fuck out of there. But then when it would turn into this, podcast mic would show up and everything would burn down. It wasn't good. I wasn't good at it. I mean, I was good at it. I was really fucking good at it sometimes, but sometimes I just didn't want to deal with it. I just wanted to get my shit done and get it over with so I can go to Taco Bell. That's all I wanted to do on the road. Hang out with Mike Toomey. That was it. But then the blind guy, he still won't shut the fuck up. And I'm like, dude, no, fuck you. You shut up. You have 4 senses. Why would you waste them on me? You have 4 senses left. Why would you waste them on me? And by the way, I have no idea if speech is a sense. I don't think it is. But in the moment, it sure sounded good to me. And then he tried to say something else. And I go, no, you're blind. You're blind. You are blind. And it's like, of course he knows he's blind, but that's all I kept saying. I go, you can't talk to me. You're blind. You don't get to talk to me. You don't get to talk to me. You're blind. And Toomey is fucking dying. He's practically doing somersaults, and everybody's just, it was this weird Hitler bullshit. Who the fuck tells a blind guy he can't talk to him because he's blind? But I go, you're blind. You don't get to talk to me. No, you don't. You don't. You don't. We're done. We're done. You're blind. So he doesn't get to speak in public. And then I made it through the rest of the show without getting stabbed. And then Mike Toomey went up and was fucking amazing and killed it with everybody. So that's why I like to book my own rooms now, folks. I don't want that blind guy because he's been following me ever since then. I'm his white whale. So I was talking. So this theater in this other city didn't get back to me. As you know, I have Green Bay booked now. Well, I've been toying with doing shows in different cities at different times. What I wanted to do in Wisconsin was I wanted to maybe do a show in Milwaukee and then one in Green Bay. And Milwaukee, turned out all the venues, including the venue that I'd been in before there, was all full. And I'm not kidding you. I found 6 theaters in Milwaukee, contacted all of them, and all of them have something going on the weekend that I wanted to do it, which is the weekend. Because I'm in Green Bay. It's November 2nd, 11/2. It's a Saturday night. The show starts at 7 o'clock. I think 7 o'clock. I don't know. Brown paper tickets, go ahead, punch in my name, you'll see it. So I knew I was doing that Green Bay show, so I was trying to figure out a companion show on Friday, and I was looking for different cities, and Milwaukee was the one I wanted to do, and that I called 5 theaters. They were all full of like, and bullshit, like Mr. Belvedere on live. I'm like, shut this shit down. Let me come in there and be funny. You know what I mean? It's like you get that weird proprietary thing. What, a blind guy there? Fuck that guy. All right, so I didn't know, but I've never seen a booming local theater scene like I do in Milwaukee the weekend I want to be in fucking town. So I was like, that's not going to work. So then I went, you know what? I could go to Madison. Because Madison is kind of between Milwaukee and Green Bay. And I could make that work, and that'd be fun. And I've been to Madison. I actually had a good time at their comedy club. And it's a college town, and I think I could do okay there. And you still draw people. But again, I don't know if people will want to come see me 2 nights in a row, even if I did, because I would do 2 different shows. I would do 2 different stories each night, and do just a completely different. But here's another problem that I'm running into, and I guess I need you guys to vote, not vote, or just tell me what you think. Would you see me do? Because these shows, all right, here's the CD is out. The Big Angry is out. You can buy it right now at Amazon and all the different places, and it contains a story you've never heard. If you've seen the live the show, the Success Is Not an Option tour that we did, you saw this story. But this story that will never be on the podcast, and it's here. It's like when I did the LA Podcast Festival. Oh, by the way, remind me to talk about that. I did, I'll get to it in a minute. But I did the LA Podcast Festival last year, and I did a story that I had never done on this show. And you can buy that download at Joe Business, at the Joe Business page. So there's kind of a selling point there. But now I'm going to be doing stories that I think you may have heard on the podcast, and I don't know if that makes you mad. I'm trying to figure out how to craft it in a way, and like I said, that's why I keep saying I don't know what I'm going to do when I come to town. But more than likely, they're going to be stories that you heard. And are you going to be frustrated? Are you going to be mad that you bought a ticket to come and see me and I'm telling stories that you heard on the podcast? I have no idea. So that's why in my head, I'm like, well, maybe I can do 2 nights. And then I'm going, you can't even do 1 night. They will have heard these stories and they're going to be fucking pissed at you and they're going to walk out, which would be a drag. And I would hate to have to refund all your money, which, by the way, I'm never refunding any of your money, just so you know that. You can get up and walk out en masse. You can boo. You can throw tomatoes and salad and whatever you'd like. We don't throw a whole salad. I mean, that seems like redundant and silly. Throw tomatoes and cucumbers and then lettuce, and then I'll do a Hedvig and I'll make my own salad. It'll be perfect. Mike Schmidt and the Angry Tongs. Let's do this. So I was looking to do Wisconsin was going to be my grand experiment where I was going to do 2 shows in 2 different cities, and I don't know why. I am trying to run before I can crawl even. I mean, it's nice to go to these cities and see you guys and stuff, but, it's not like I'm selling out the fucking Palladium. So to think I could sell out 2 rooms within 20 miles of one another or 100 miles, I don't even know where fucking Madison and Green Bay are. I have no clue. I wanted to do a show in Iowa City and I wanted to do a show in Dover, Delaware. So I was hoping that you guys would come to both. Is that going to be great? So I tried Milwaukee, and ridiculously, all the theaters are on lockdown because they're all doing the live Brady Bunch in every fucking theater. Because, hey, it's classy. It's Broadway. It's the Broadway of the Midwest. That's what people have said about Milwaukee. It's the Great Gray Way. So I don't know. Yes. Why do you question what comes out of my head? I don't know. No, it wasn't. You didn't think it was that funny. It's fine. That's why you mocked me.
I'm stealing the Great Gray Way.
Sure you are. Yeah, you can make fun of me all you want.
I'm stealing that.
Go ahead and take it. And then when it doesn't work, you'll go, "That's Mike Schmitz." It's not funny at all.
Give it to me, right?
You'll steal it and you go, "Yeah, the Great Gray Way." And everybody go, "Oh my God, that's awful." And you go, "I know, right?" Mike Schmitz said that, and I went, "Really?"
Nope.
Because that's exactly what you did. I said it and you went, "Really?"
No, I did it in the internal of why the fuck didn't I think of that? I'm like, really?
No, stop.
Seriously?
Well, you want to feel worse about it? I just made it up now. How's that grab you?
hate you.
Made it up in the fucking moment because I'm great. So, hi everybody. There's an open microphone I forgot about. It says I had to have a little discussion with my producer. So I should make this point. From now on, all remarks will be pointed toward you, the inner circle. I can't get outside the circle. Lily's outside the circle. There you go. So I figured I'll do these many cities, this multiple city tour that you guys are no doubt going to get behind. You're going to get in a bus like the fans in Slapshot and just follow me like the Charlestown Chiefs all over the fucking place. Because eventually, I'm going to wind up hitting somebody, right? That's what it is. My show is essentially Slapshot. At some point, someone's getting fucking jacked. Follow me in a bus. Oh, bring those hot Swedish girls in the jeans. He tell me he love her. I love her. Now I'll just do, I should just quote Slapshot now for the last 20 minutes. Get the fuck out of here. All right. Hanran. All right. So anyway, God damn it. Dave's a killer. I left that blank right there because I know right now Dave Hernandez at his house went, "Dave's a mess." Guaranteed. I said, "Dave's a killer." If you listen closely, you can hear Mex go, "Dave's a mess." I think that might be his favorite line in the movie. Oh my God. Last time I was at Mex's house. Middle of the night. I think I might even talked about this on here. Like Slapshot was on one channel, Animal House was on one channel, and I think Fight Club was on. And it was just this thing where you're like, I can't. What are we gonna do? He and I just looked at each other like, what are we gonna do? It's because it's 2 a.m. and first of all, he's ready to go to bed in an hour. But he's and Smokey and the Bandit was on too. We were just like, holy shit, we can't. What are we gonna do with ourselves? And at Mex's house, Mex gets the remote, of course, because it's his house. I agreed. I should have the remote because I'm really good at the flipping. But Mex Chicks, I will tell you that's the hardest things when I'm at Dave's house because I don't mind. I cede control of the television all that because it's his. He paid for it. Good for him. But he checks like weird channels. Like, he checks a bunch of like stuff I would never check. And so I had to ask him. I go, "Dude, do me a favor. Just put this in your rotation. Like, I have to throw something in the check rotation. So I always want him to check the community access channels because I think we all know how much I love community access. Oh my God. If you're in my inner circle, you love nothing more than stumbling onto some cooking show in a fucking studio in the middle of winter as someone's showing you how to make like a pumpkin soup. And you're just like, what the fuck is happening here? It's like some grandmother from Naperville and she's just like, here's how you make cider. Oh my God, I'm in. Remote on the table. I'm not fucking moving. Make some goddamn cider, Grandma. I love it. I love those shows. I used to watch, there was a reading show that was on after school for kids. And it would just be a show where it was just a guy reading, like with an extreme close up of his face, and he would make like real animated faces as he read, and I was mesmerized by it. I was like an infant watching puppets. Like I was just like, oh, this guy's awesome. Like he was terrible, but that's what I loved about it. It was so fucking terrible. When I was a kid, there was a show about the metric system, and everybody had like meter bodies. Like there was like their heads superimposed on like weird measuring sticks or something, and I can remember that show vividly. Like it's just I know. I wish the metric system. I remember the fucking song from it. I wish I knew where it was from. And it's funny, people out there, someone's going to know because that's what happens. Oh, by the way, let's throw this out there, folks. Remember a few months ago when I was talking about a song that went, baby, baby, and I could not believe that you guys knew it. I forgot it. So somebody do me a favor and send me an email and tell me what it is so I can go ahead and try to find it. Because everybody guessed a Static X song, and then someone actually gifted me the Static X song, and I'm like, it's not this. But then 10 other people were like, oh, dude, it's this. And I told you, somebody knew in a minute. A minute after the show went up, they were like, yeah, it's this. That seems weird. It wasn't a minute into the show that I talked about it. Some weird psychic person. Someone was outside your door with a glass, listening. So, see, look, this is the magic you'll get in two different cities. A guy who can't concentrate fucking long enough to spit out an anecdote. God damn it. All right. So I was looking to do multiple cities in Milwaukee. I was thinking about, or not in Wisconsin. And first, my first thought was Milwaukee, but it didn't happen. So then I decided to move to Madison. And I contacted our friend Rob Matsushita, who is a friend of the show. And Lily's eating like a squirrel, and it's distracting me. She's eating sunflower seeds. And
No, I'm not. I'm on a juicing diet.
I'm sorry. Lily's on a juicing diet. She's not eating sunflower seeds. She's just, you know what? She's just sucking the salt off of them because it helps with the juicing later. You guys know how I eat sunflower seeds, right? I told you that. I just chew them all up into a big thing and then I spit out a pencil. It's fucking amazing. I can't break them open. I've never understood the people who can break it open and then like pull out the seed. Fuck that. You gotta eat the whole thing. You don't swallow it because your fucking liver will look like a pincushion. All right. So I started to call theaters in Madison. First, I called Rob Matsushita because I know he is very active in the theater community in Madison. He's like, well, I know some people at this particular theater, but there's a show there that weekend. Now, you know, I was looking 3 months in advance. Like, move your stupid show because I'm coming to town to be awesome. That's what I just let me talk to the theater director, tell them to move that because then the show is like tenuous. You're not going to sell ticket one for people to come and see a live version of Heart to Heart. It's not going to fucking happen. I'm coming to town to be awesome, goddammit. So Rob said, you know, he wasn't sure what could happen at his theater, but he recommended a few other theaters and told me to contact these people. So let me tell you something about the theater scene in Madison. First of all, let's amend that word. I wouldn't call it the theater scene in Madison. I would call it the theater cabal in Madison. Because they have some sort of weird omerta where they're not going to let me into their fucking town. Because I went, there was one guy I wrote, and he said, all right, I'm going to have to check with our board of directors, and I will get back to you Monday. And I'm like, that's never happening in a million years. No kidding. A fucking board of directors for a black box theater? Jesus Christ. It's a garage, for fuck's sake, with seats in it and a microphone. I don't know what the fuck you need a board of directors for. What are they, overseeing the dark? So they fucking have to do that. And so I knew he was out. So I got these other fucking places that Rob told me to, and he's like, these people might be cool. Dude, they were not cool at all. I talked to all these different theaters, and all of them, they first of all, these people, they wanted to yoke me for like $400, and then another $100 for a deposit, and then $150 for a tech guy, and I had to pay for 8 hours of tech, even if I was only in the theater for 3. And then this was the thing that cracked me up. All the theaters, everybody I contacted in Madison, they wanted me to have my own liability insurance. And either I had to have my own liability insurance or there was a guy in town they could set it up through. And that just sounds like a fucking racket, right? That just sounds like they're in cahoots with that dude to try to make some extra cash. And then he probably slips them on the back end some money because, and so I even wrote the woman. I'm like, you know, I'm not the Who. I'm just going to show up and fucking talk. I mean, rarely does somebody get hit at my show, and if they do, it's me doing the hit, and so you don't have to worry about it. I'm the one who takes the fucking heat, not you guys. But they bailed on me, so Madison didn't fucking happen. So then I just went, you know what, just fucking do the show in Green Bay, because our friend Michael runs the theater there. It's the Green Tree Lounge? I want to say, because here's the thing. I keep wanting to say the Green Mile Lounge, but it's Wisconsin. I know there is not a magical Negro within any of the cities in fucking Wisconsin.
Oh my god.
Particularly in Green Bay. So I don't know if it's the Green Mile Lounge. I hope it's not, because I unless I get a last meal out of it, that'd be fun. Oh, and I'll tell you this. I announced the show last week, and that I'm going to be in Wisconsin, and I'm doing the show in Green Bay. And I heard from listener of the show, local listener of the show, fan of the show in Wisconsin. How do I refer to her? How do I put this? Catfight Jill. Remember her from a few episodes back? When she and her friend went at it and me and Hannah Frostman had to cower in the corner like two children watching their parents have a fight in public. Well, Jill contacted me and said, you're going to be here that weekend. I have tickets to the Bears-Packers game. Would you like to go?
Whoa.
Now, if you recall, last year when I went to town, I actually did a show in Green Bay. And it happened to be that weekend. Bears-Packers played on Thursday, and I got to town and watched the game in a Packer bar in my Bears jersey. And I had talked about maybe going to the game, but it seemed like it was crazy expensive. Well, it just so happened that I'm in town this time, and I'm doing the show. And Catfight Jill contacts me and says, "Hey, I have tickets that weekend to the Bears and the Packers. Would you like to attend?" Now, I should tell you this. I don't know if it's this might be a setup. This could be a weird ambush of some sort. Like there's going to be like a bus full of Packer fans and I'm going to get thrashed. I have no idea how it works. I don't know if it's a whole group, a whole crew. All I know is I immediately said yes. That's all I know, folks, because look, let's put it this way. I'm going to go to the game, and even if the Bears lose, even if the Bears win, I'm going to get a story out of it. Something's going to happen, right? If anything, Catfight Jill's going to find some chick to have a fucking knockdown, drag out brawl with, and I'm going to get to hide and watch it and then talk about it the next fucking week. It'll be perfect. I bail her out of jail, and everything works out great. So we have that to look forward to. Like, so now I'm doing a show, and now I'm actually glad I didn't schedule a second show because I need to rest. I need to relax and get ready for the fucking carnage of Monday Night Football, because it is Monday Night Football, folks. I'm doing the show Saturday in Green Bay, and then the game is Monday night in Green Bay, and I don't even know, like, I don't know if I wear a Bears jersey, because I wear a Bears jersey to the Packer bar. All right. And there, I got some good-natured ribbing and some bullshit from some guys there, but it was nothing. That's a little different than showing up at the stadium. So part of me's thinking, like, maybe I could wear an orange hunting cap that'll, like, distract them. Like, they won't notice that I'm wearing a Bears jersey because I'll fit in with the rest of the fucking orange caps in town, right? Or they have the ridiculous cheese heads. Maybe you know what? I paint a cheese head orange. Fuck, they'll never fucking talk to me. I'll be their king. Fuck that. I'll totally be their king. Because they wear those orange ear lap fucking hunting hats and they wear cheese heads. Dude, combine them. If I make a fucking orange cheese head with ear flaps on it, Jesus Christ, I'll be their fucking lord and master. They won't even notice the goddamn Bears jersey. It'll be fucking genius. And Catfight Jill and I will rule them all. I need her to have and actually that's why I'm not worried. No matter what the fuck happens, Jill will kick the shit out of somebody, because I told you I saw that temper in action. So no matter what the fuck happens, I know she's gonna fight her way out of it. I'll start the car or whatever. I'll hide in the bus, and I'll know she'll fucking come out of it fucking scot free, and we'll get the hell out of there, because she can handle herself, and I'm just gonna hide behind her and get the fuck out of there. So we've got the show in Green Bay, and now it turns out I'm going to the Bears game in Green Bay, and I hope there will be a show that week. It all depends on how quickly I can get bailed out and get back to town. And I got to figure out airfare and all that kind of stuff. But I will be in Green Bay again, like I said, November 2nd. And so today, I thought I had another city booked. And I think I told you guys this. She and I, another woman and I, we talked for half an hour yesterday, and I took all the notes and I wrote everything down, and I told her what I needed, and everything seemed to be fine. Everything was great. And she goes, okay. I said, well, I'd really like to announce on my podcast this week. She said, great. I will contact you and we'll be squared away and I'll get you a contract. I said, good. And I said, look, I need to tell you one thing though before we proceed, because I told her that, I said, I'm one guy talking. I need a microphone and lights. That's all I need. I said, but I need to tell you this. My show is a hard R. And she goes, well, okay. I said, I mean it. I go, it's a ton of swearing, and that's just the way it is. It's not like swearing, like mean, horrible stuff. I said, but I just kind of use it as a shorthand. It's how I talk. She said, okay, well, that's not a problem. She goes, as long as it's not like hate speech. And I said, well, I don't like for anybody to tell me what I can and can't say.
Oh, Jesus.
And there was silence on the end of the line. I go, I'm kidding. I'm joking. There's no hate speech. Oh my God. Why would... And she said, oh, okay, well, geez, yeah, that really had me worried. And I'm like, really? And I wanted to say to her, let me ask you something. If there was hate speech in my show, do you think I would admit to it before the show started? That I would say to you, yes, I have hate speech. Is it okay if I book the show? No, I would come in stealth-wise and just deliver a hate speech right from your goddamn stage. Yes, it is. I'm like a ticking time bomb. Like, you never know. I might show up and just be, hey, hey, everything's great. I like flowers. By the way, Hitler was right. I mean, that'd be fucking perfect, right?
Oh my God.
So it made me laugh that she was like, because then they all say that when I bring it up. I will tell you this: the theater in the other city that I talked to that wound up, she didn't call me back. When I told her that I was a hard R, and she said, well, as long as we know, so we can tell the people in our mailing list what it is about. She goes, I will tell you this. She goes, we had the local LGBT people put on a show here, and we put it on our mailing list, and people came and they brought, like young people, and there were naked people on stage in the middle of the performance. She goes, they weren't doing anything, they were just naked, but I can tell you that some of our subscribers were not too excited about that. And I said, well, I guarantee you I will not be naked at any point during my show. Now, hate speech, I cannot tell you yes or no. Right now, that's still up in the air. Hate speech is a possibility. Hate speech is always a possibility, folks. But let me tell you something. Theater owners of America, I make this pledge to you. I make this promise to you right now. If I am to come on stage and I am to advocate the extermination of a particular ethnic group, I will always be wearing pants. You never have to worry about me freeballing my threat to society. It's never going to happen that way. And I also loved her description of that show. She's like, yeah, there were gay people. There was a show. There were naked people. They weren't doing anything. Why are they on stage? Weird stage dressing. It's like, all right, we need a couch and we need a table. We need a couple of guys with their cocks out. Go ahead and throw those guys in the corner just for atmosphere. Oh my God, that would make any show better, doesn't it? Just a couple of guys fucking wang hanging out. Sure, that's perfect. I guess when I heard that story, I sympathize a little more with the people who own the black box theaters. You know what I mean? They've got to be choosy and picky and figure out what's going on. So whatever, I tell people hard. So I'm thinking that my telling her it was a hard hour had a lot more to do with the fact that her canceling the show than her board of directors or whatever the fuck. Because again, she was another one. I had to go to the managing director and managing director. Jesus Christ, can't even talk. So I'm trying. I'm efforting to book cities and come to your town. I'll be here at the LA Podfest, as you know. Which I wanted to mention this. I'm doing the show, which is Saturday at 4:00 in the afternoon. I got an email from Chris. All right, when I was told initially that I wasn't doing the festival, he asked if I would do a panel. And I said no. I said, I don't mean to be a dick about it. I go, but I did a show last year that was sold out. And then to come back this year and just kind of be on a panel seemed like a step down. And yes, I'm being a child there, folks. I totally understand that. But that's kind of how I felt in the moment. And I wasn't mad. I wasn't angry. I was just legitimately saying, if I'm not in the festival, then why the fuck am I coming to the festival? I mean, to hang around, I've said that before. It's like, why I don't want to hang out at the Improv because it's like, unless you have the cachet of being a comic, you're just a fucking bar patron. So Chris contacted me again last week and he's like, hey, would you be interested in being in a panel for the podcast? Now that your show is in, would you want to do a panel? He said, here's the choices of the panels. And I wrote him back and I said, look, I don't know if I would be a good fit for your panel because I have varying opinions about things and I think it might be a problem. First he asked me if I would mediate a panel. I said, I do not have the gravitas to mediate a panel. Absolutely not. I said, I might consider being on a panel, but I'm going to be honest with you. It's probably not going to go well because I don't subscribe to the way that people think a lot of the times.
That's why you'd be great on a panel.
Well, that's what Chris said in his email back. He said, so you would have divergent opinions and you might be outspoken and interesting? Gee, I wonder why I want you on a panel. And he said, all right, so, if you're considering doing it and stuff, then I would really like to have you. Well, I never answered his email because I got very tied up and busy until today when I got an announcement of the panels at the podcast festival, and I'm on a panel. Because I told him I would do it maybe. It was like that thing where I didn't commit, but now I'm in. But what I told him was I said, there's two things. I will not mediate because I have no gravitas, and also I do not want to do it the same day of my show. I'm not going to just spend the time before the show doing a panel and then going and bombing. That would be so terrible. Like, what authority is this guy? He just fucking had a panel and then he went and ate it. And then I also don't want to eat it and then do a panel afterwards and have to go.
You're supposed to do the panel to get people interested in you to come see your show that don't know you.
Fuck that. You know what? I was full last year. I'll be full again this year, I think. Although I probably won't now that I'm against fucking Phil Hendry and Walking the Room and every other goddamn podcast in the afternoon. But no, now I'm finding out I'm on a panel at noon on Sunday. My show's at 4:00 Saturday. And then I will bomb, and then I will be able to sleep it off. And then I will have to schlep back to the scene of the crime on Sunday. And there are a couple of panels. One of them was from hosting to the producing to hosting or whatever, which would be good for you. And then I think did I talk about this on here? Whatever. The panel that I'm on, because then there was one about monetizing your podcast. And my favorite part is he asked me if I would be interested in that one. And then I see today that Jeff Ulrich is on it, the guy from Earwolf. I can't compete with that fucking guy. That guy, he's got 47 shows under his umbrella. I've got mine. So mine. I don't know. I go to the panel, find out. But then he asked. So then there was one other panel, and this is the one I'm on. And you guys, my inner circle, you're gonna laugh. Podcasting networks. Are they good for you or bad for you?
Perfect.
So I told him, I go, well, I have some opinions on that, but they're kind of all over the place. And he's like, well, that's why I want you on it. So I'm on that panel. And I guess Christine Blackburn is the moderator. And then there's a couple other dudes, Mike Saratella and somebody else. And these are names, unfortunately, that I do not know. I mean, I know Christine. She's a comic. We've met a couple of times, I think. We might not have. You could ask her, and she had no fucking clue who I am. But then there are two other guys on it, so I have to look them up and see who they are and find out exactly who's going to hate me that day. So, yeah, it made me laugh that I'm on a panel. But now I'm on a panel. And the panel is podcasting networks, and it makes me laugh because I'm always saying keep it indie with Mike Schmidt, and then so what do you think I'm going to say at that show? We'll see. I don't know because I could very well have a differently fully formed opinion by then. We'll find out. But yeah, so go to the panel. Well, actually, come to my show. That's the most important thing. And then we'll all go out Saturday night and eat goat, and then we'll go to the panel on Sunday. No goat, by the way, no goat on this trip. I heard from Mary, and she's like, "Hey, well, are we going to eat goat again in Los Angeles?" No. Absolutely not. That's not happening. And by then, I'm not. Well, I don't. I'm not eating goat because I don't eat anything. I'm getting in fighting shape. I should be in real fighting shape by the time the podcast festival rolls around. I hope. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know if that'll happen. But that's why I have no stories. Like, I mean, I do. I could talk fucking. But I mean, the whole life now is gym, work, home. Sometimes I work gym at home. Oh my God, he's so happy about it. I was working out with my trainer, and he's a nice guy. And I tell you this, I doubled up my sessions now because the sessions were half an hour, and I just felt like I wasn't doing anything. So he goes, well, you want to just put 2 sessions back to back? We'll do an hour. I said, yeah. So yesterday I did that for the first time. I worked out for a fucking hour and then did the treadmill afterwards for like 45 minutes. And I'm beat up today. This happened to me at the gym. I'll tell you this story. I've been on the treadmills and I'm enjoying it. And as I've mentioned, I will, I get, I play music, and I play certain types of music, and I have to listen to it as I go through. So sometimes a song will come on that's not a good song, but I make myself go through it, or sometimes I'll skip it, whatever the fuck. I try not to have rules. I have no rules in the gym, folks. But I will tell you this, if a fucking metal song comes on or something that's like really banging, I'll turn the speed up and I'll start fucking running a little faster or whatever. And I'll hit myself in the chest. Because I'm looking for something to do with my hands because I'm all kind of revved up. And I'm usually jogging, but then I'll fucking punch myself in the chest while I'm doing it. Well, the other day I'm on the treadmill and I'm doing it, and a song called Shockwave by Black Tide came on, which they were these kids who were in a metal band, and I saw them one night, and I was like, Jesus, who the fuck are these guys? They're like 15, but they do metal. It's fucking great. The song Shockwave's amazing. I bought the album. The album's good, but Shockwave's a great song. So it comes on, and it's got this heavy. So when it would do that, I would hit myself in the chest like. And there's all the people on the treadmill were running, and I'm hitting myself in the chest. And then after that song, a song called Sugar by System of a Down came on. System of a Down, and that song is fucking. It's this. I can't even. It came on at an airport once, and I'm like, you know what? I can see why 9/11 happened. Seriously, I know why that happened. This song came on, and they all got on a plane and went, "Fuck this," because it's just a fucking evil song. It's great. So I just kept rewinding it, and as it would play, I would hit myself in the chest. And I got earbuds on them, and I got tunnel vision. I will tell you this. I used to run downstairs, but now I go to the treadmills upstairs because you can look into the weight room and into the stretchy room where sometimes there's a woman's yoga class going on. And so you get, well, it's incentive because that's the whole fucking reason I'm there. And I will tell you, while I was on the treadmill and I'm watching, women stretch in their yoga pants and doing whatever they're doing, I had this epiphany, and it was a weird epiphany. Like it was jarring almost. All those girls down there like stretching and lifting, they're trying to get fuckable again too. Like that's what it's there for. That we're all, That's the only reason anybody's in the gym. Everybody wants to just get fucked. That's it. That's the whole reason everybody goes, right? Nobody cares about health. Nobody gives a shit about lungs. No, do you care about your lungs? I don't give a shit about my lungs. My lungs are there and they're working and that's fine. But I need the outside of me. Nobody cares about the inside of me. I could have a black heart and no liver and my kidneys are gone and a fucking punctured lung and nobody would give a shit as long as I look good on the outside. So that's what we're all trying to do. We're trying to sculpt the fucking outside. So I thought about that. All those women in that yoga class. I'm like, well, because like you said, you called me a perv, haha. And part of me was like, well, this is weird to be up here and like staring. But at the same time, I'm like, well, that's what they want. That's why they're down there doing hip bridges, because they truly are trying to get back into shape. So guys like me will hop off the treadmill and take them out and squire them around town. I know it's not true. Don't yell. It's a joke. God damn it. But still, I'm not lying about the epiphany of how everybody just kind of wants. That's what it's all. Literally, sex is just such the fucking. And look, that's me, all right? Because I'm all fucking crazy at this point anyway. I put my dick in a cake. I didn't really. I put a proxy dick in a cake. And did I mention that the emails? I got 10 emails from people going, dude, you need to put a picture of that banana up online. And another one of our friends on Facebook, she goes, you need a video of you eating that banana. You need to put it up.
Oh my God.
And I'm just like, why are you making fun of me so much? But that's fine. But people wanted to see Schmitty's golden banana. So I'm on the treadmill and I'm hitting myself in the chest. And I'm tunnel vision. I'm looking and I'm running. And finally I noticed the guy next to me is just staring at me. He's on the treadmill. He's on my left. And he's a runner. Like he's going like, 6 miles an hour. And but his treadmill has now stopped. Whatever 6.0 is on the thing. And then he's bumping it up to 7 and then going an incline. He knows what he's doing. But he's stopped now. I notice his treadmill is stopped and he's just staring at me. So I'm like, look, I look at him and he's looking at me. And so I keep going and I take my earbuds off and I go, hey. And he goes, could you stop that? And I said, stop what? He goes, stop hitting yourself. And I go, why? Is it loud? And he goes, no. Every time you hit yourself, all your sweat splashes all over me. It's disgusting. Because I didn't even, you could, look, when I'm at the gym, I should take a fucking photo. Literally, you could wring my shirt out like it's like a rag in a bathtub. I mean, it's soaked. It's soaked. And I wasn't even thinking about it. You know what I mean? It's like, it's flying. I'm hitting myself and it's flying all over this fucking guy. And he goes, it's disgusting. And I went, dude, oh my God. And I'm still on the treadmill. I stopped my treadmill and I'm like, I'm really sorry. I'm so sorry about that. I wasn't even thinking. I kind of, to get through the cardio. And then I go to a fucking explanation of how much I hate cardio. To get through the cardio, I kind of go into tunnel vision. I listen to music and it gets me out. And he's like, I don't, that's just stop. Please stop. It's like, stop talking, stop sweating on me, stop all of it. And I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry. I apologize. And he just fucking makes a disgusted face and puts his earbuds back in. And then I continue running. And then he finishes and he goes away. And then I finish my run and I walk downstairs and I go through the weight room because I had to do curls before I left. And he's right there and he's got his earbuds on. And I look at him and I smile like, hi, how are you? And he just fucking ignored me and walked away. I'm not making friends at the gym is my point. And I should tell you what, this guy who's covered in a thin film of my sweat, he's got a thin film of me all over him. He should consider himself lucky. Because I'm on the treadmill the other day. All right, let me tell you this. I used to work at a Gold's Gym. And I told this story on, I think on Never Not Funny, and I might have talked about it here. Every gym has a rah-rah guy. Every gym has, certain people. All right, they've got fat guys like me trying to get back into shape. They got girls in a yoga class all trying to get laid. Not really. I just think people are going to really take that seriously. And then there's weightlifters who just hang out and never break a sweat, but they're fucking buff. And they might just deadlift 500 pounds for no reason. And then they talk to a guy for 100 minutes. Like literally they just go and they'll talk for just over an hour and a half. They'll have a chat about Decadurabolin or whatever the fuck they talk about. So I there's those people, but then there's always a rah-rah guy in the gym who knows everybody. And he walks around and he gives you that weird encouragement, like, yeah, keep going. All right, pump it up. Get a pump on. And he talks to everybody and he's saying hi and he shakes your hand or he slaps you on the ass, which is even weirder. Well, at Gold's Gym, the guy who did that looked like Wesley Snipes. You know who he looked like? He looked like Sidney Dean, which is Wesley Snipes from White Men Can't Jump. He had the tank top. He had the little hat. I mean, he looked exactly like him, to the point where my buddy Kurt and I would just call him Fake Snipes. What's up, Fake Snipes? And because he was that guy. Well, now at LA Fitness, where I work out, formerly Bally's, until the hostile takeover by the LA Fitness people. Now the rah-rah guy is Fake Tom Skerritt. He's an old guy with like a gray brush mustache, and he looks just like Tom Skerritt. He's not an old, haggard guy like Tom Skerritt is these days. He looks like a healthier Tom Skerritt. But he does the same thing where he'll get on the treadmill for like 5 minutes and just walk, and then he'll walk around and glad hand everybody, and then he'll go downstairs and he'll do some pec flies or whatever the fuck, and then he'll come up and talk. He's just that guy. So I'm on my treadmill the other day, and tunnel vision. And this is after I've been. This is a couple days after I've been warned not to punch myself because people get covered in my sweat. So I don't know what to do with my hands, technically. So I told you sometimes I'll box, because I used to jog with 10-pound dumbbells in my hand when I'd be on the treadmill. That was when I was in super shape. But I don't think I'm at that point yet. So I'm just still trying to get length of distance and all that kind of shit down. So I'm on the treadmill the other day, and I'm tunnel visioning, and I've got my eyes closed briefly. Because I can't do it for long, because I start to lose it and I start to lean one way or the other. It's terrible on the fucking treadmill. And people are like, why don't you run outside? I should tell you this. People always write me. They're like, dude, why don't you go outside? It's gorgeous. You're in California. I don't like running outside because I need my treadmill to tell me what to do. Because I know as long as my treadmill is going, I need to keep running. And then when he stops, I can stop. The earth does not care. If I'm outside, I got to motivate myself to fucking run. And who the fuck wants to do that? Not me. I need a robot to tell me what the fuck I'm supposed to do. That's why I got a trainer telling me to lift weights, and I got a robot treadmill upstairs that's telling me what to fucking run and keep going and not stop. Because if you stop, you'll get ground up in the fucking gears. So I'm on it and I'm jogging, and I'll periodically just throw punches, or I'll do like a crouch, and I'll do like a standing crunch through a whole song. Like I'll flex my stomach the entire 4-minute song or whatever the fuck. So I'm trying to figure out ways to make it interesting for me. So I'm on the treadmill the other day. I'm at about the 30-minute mark of my 45-minute run. So I'm soaked, but I'm into it. And all of a sudden on my earbuds comes a song called Rain and Blood by a little band called Slayer. Now, I don't know how you folks work your life, but whenever Slayer comes on, I need to start going fucking crazy. That's how it works. So I'm jogging and I'm fucking staring forward, and all right, you know what? I should actually tell you this. The song before Slayer was "The Pleasure Principle" by Janet Jackson. So that's playing, and I'm kind of keeping the rhythm while running, and then all of a sudden I hear the fucking thunder crack that starts Rain and Blood, and it goes, and I laughed out loud because it was so stupid to go from Janet Jackson to fucking Slayer, but I was also like, here we fucking go. So the Slayer starts to kick in, and I fucking turn it way up, and I turn up the speed on the treadmill, and I'm fucking going, and I'm pounding, and I'm like, yeah, and I'm fucking, and I've done that too on occasion. It's funny, in the old days when I was in shape, I would be on the treadmill and I had my earbuds in, and I would start to do high knees on the treadmill, or I would like and I'd be like, yeah, I've actually done that on the treadmill, and people are like, what the fuck is going on with that idiot? But because I get fucking souped up. Music gets me souped up, and it's fucking, I'm there, man. I'm changing my life. So you start to get infused a little bit with the excitement of it, and you get a little pumped up, and that's what I did. And the Slayer was going, and I'm on the treadmill, and I'm fucking moving, and I'm like, yeah, god damn it, that's right, fucking Rain and Blood, yeah. And I fucking threw out the Iron Cross, the fucking arms, because I usually throw punches, or I'll actually put my hands in the air sometimes, but this time I just threw my hands to my sides, like, yeah, fuck yeah, like I'm fucking hitting the finish line, and I've talked about that before. That's my goddamn pose, folks. That means let's go, let's fucking crank it up. And I threw out my fucking hands, and I punched Fake Tom Skerritt right in the face. Right in the face. Because I was so out of it, I didn't know what the fuck was happening. I'm got Slayer going, and I'm looking forward, and I'm growling, and I'm like, fucking yeah, dirt. Here we fucking go, goddammit. Fucking Slayer, yeah. And I fucking throw my right hand out, and I punch Tom Skerritt, Fake Tom Skerritt, right in the face. And I see him out of the corner of my eye. He fucking goes down. Like, he fucking tumbles off the treadmill and goes flying. Well, but here's the thing. So I'm on the treadmill and I got the fucking Slayer rolling and I look and I go, oh my God, are you okay? And I'm looking at him. His treadmill was not on. Any other person would have been running on the treadmill. He was leaning on the treadmill, talking to people and giving them the rah-rah speech. And he just happened to be within fucking arm's length of me and got fucking blasted in the Tom Skerritt brush mustache.
Oh my God.
I hit him and he goes tumbling off the treadmill and I turn around, I'm looking at him and I'm running and I go, oh my God, are you okay? But of course, on the folks, I didn't stop my treadmill. I got to tell you that. I can't interfere with my run. I certainly can't interfere with Slayer because I'll tell you this, he's down on the ground and I'm like, are you okay? And people are kind of scrambling to help him and I keep moving. And here was my concession to fake Tom Skerritt. You know what I did, folks? I took out one earbud. That's what I did. I didn't even stop my treadmill. I took out my right earbud and I looked and I'm like, you all right, buddy? And he's just like, ha ha, all right, getting all pumped up. And he was fine with it. He was bleeding, certainly. Well, because I hit him in the corner of his mouth, and I guess it caught a tooth or something. Because I didn't hit him that hard, and I kind of, but literally, my fist it clipped him. He got clipped, and sometimes you get clipped. There's a lot of flesh on your face that can get caught, and he was not bleeding like a ton, but it was just that thing where you got like a little tiny bit on your lip. But he was fine with it. He's like, yeah, all right, just getting pumped up, huh, buddy? Like his fake Tom Skerrittness helped him deal with it in the moment. Because if it was anybody else, they tackle me and we were fucking going round and round, which is fine. But my favorite part is, again, I didn't even stop the treadmill. Like, that's how concerned I am for the bleeding old man I punched in the face. I just kept running. All I did was I took out one earbud. You okay? You're good? All right, fine. I should have, you know what I should have done? I should have stopped the treadmill and just posed over him. That's right. Fuck that, fake Tom Skerritt. I'll buzz your fucking tower. Yeah. I buzzed fucking fake Tom Skerritt's tower. Yeah,
Oh my God.
But the best part was he was cool with it, and I'm fine, and I'm running, everything's cool. Everybody else around it is just looking at me like, what the fuck is wrong with you? What are you doing? And because I just, I get animated. I'm an animated guy, folks. I get a lot of energy. I get a lot of stuff happening. And I'm becoming a new guy. I'm trying to change. I'm coming out of I'm a caterpillar. That's what I am. I'm a goddamn caterpillar, right? As a caterpillar, and I'm becoming a moth. Is that what I'm doing? Or does a moth become a caterpillar? I forget. I have no idea. Caterpillar becomes a butterfly. Fuck that. I'm a moth.
Moths aren't caterpillars.
Why not? That's the best thing I ever said in my life. Moths aren't caterpillars. Why not? Fucking change that, God. Upstairs, looking down at us and crashing our fucking towers with your planes. Bullshit on that. Fix the moth caterpillar thing. That's right. I just hung 9/11 on God. Because you know what? If he's going to help you with your math test, he's going to be responsible for all of this bullshit. He doesn't get a pass when that happens. If he's the guy who's like, oh my God, I can't believe my daughter's christening was so beautiful. Thank you so much, Jesus. Guess what? The tornado that blows that church to the fucking ground, also Jesus. It's not like Jesus took the day off and some guy named Joe took over and said, yeah, fuck it, let's destroy that church. No. If he's in for the good stuff, he's in for the bad stuff.
Oh my God.
By the way, I changed that. All of a sudden, I went from God to Jesus there. Aren't they two separate dudes? I don't know. I don't have the comic book. All right, so I never know. That's like a big argument, right? Is Jesus Lord or Jesus is Lord or Clapton is God? I think it's Clapton. It's Clapton who's God. That's who it is. All right. Yeah, you did spit. That's fine. But that's who it is. Clapton is God. All right, so. And if Clapton is God, he's responsible for his own son taking a swan dive off a fucking balcony, right? Because he doesn't get off. He gets the good stuff and the bad stuff. Sure, he's got the long solo in Layla, and you love it, but you still got to hold him responsible for his kid taking a swan dive.
Oh my God.
That's on you, Clapton. You don't get the good stuff and then get to shy away from the bad stuff. Yes, you and Cream did I'm So Glad, and it's a fucking jam. However, maybe you put in a window that locks. That's all I'm going to say to you, Clapton. Maybe you go down to the crossroads and you hire a guy to fix your windows. That's what you do. You find a guy down there to kid-proof your balcony. Go down to the crossroads and hire a guy to kid-proof your balcony.
Oh, shit.
All right. Look, folks, there's nothing funny about what I'm saying right now. We know that. We're just having a little fun. And I'll tell you this, and on the week my CD comes out, well, look how terrible I am. Because I know Clapton's listening. He scours the iTunes and he says, who's these new releases?
Oh.
And he's going to see my new releases. He's going to go, oh my God, I got to tune into this guy's podcast. And sure enough, I elbow him in the face. Why would I do that? He's a good guy. Actually, I know nothing about him. Didn't he steal Bill Wyman's wife? Is that him? Who fucked Marianne Faithfull besides everybody? But then, like, Bill Wyman was fucking Marianne Faithfull, and then his wife went with Clapton. And isn't Layla about her? Bullshit. I think Layla's about Stevie Nicks. Hold on a second. Let's figure this out. And Silver Springs is about Eric Clapton, right? Lindsey Buckingham, furious. God damn it. Let's just talk about the Eagles for an hour. Let's do that now, folks. All of a sudden, I just leaped back into a 70s thing. Well, it's so easy. It's so easy. It's so easy to do that. See, folks, when you unleash the bees, these sorts of things happen. All I can say to you is ho, 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 it's magic. You know. Never believe it's not so. Oh, that's fun. Songs that are older than anybody who's listening. Because I'm an old man. Which is drawn into sharp relief every time I'm on the treadmill. Because it tells you to put in your age and your weight and then the target heart rate. And I obliterate my target heart rate. Oh, it's awesome. To the point where I'm wondering if I'm going to fucking kill myself. Because I'll be on the treadmill and I'm rolling, seriously. And I'll crank the speed up and all that. And then it says to grab the thing to figure out what you're... So there's fat burn and then there's cardio. And the cardio is the high intensity one. And for my age, it wants you to be at like 125 or something for cardio. And my heart rate will be at like 168. Like I'll be holding the thing and just fucking pounding it. It's awesome. And it's not like I'm going, oh, I'm woozy and I'm going to fall down. It's just 168 because my fucking heart's a machine, goddammit. Pretty soon it's going to leap right out of my chest. It's just going to burst. I'll be on the treadmill rolling, just fucking hammering it, and my heart's going to burst out of my chest, and that one dude is going to be right next to me on the other treadmill and just going to get soaked in my blood and viscera. He's going to stop his treadmill and just like, could you please stop that? Could you please stop exploding your heart out of your chest? It's disgusting. I'm so sorry. So my CD came out this week, folks. My CD is called The Big Angry. And it's been years in the making. Years, 20 years. Holy God. Well, it seems long. We culminated. That's why I was doing this Success Is Not an Option tour, and I never even thought of doing a CD until I did the Los Angeles Podcast Festival, and it went really well in front of a live audience, and Matt Belknap was there. And in my head, I thought, well, maybe I could hit Matt up to see if this could be some sort of a special thing. And then after the show, Matt came up to me and he said, hey, would you be interested in doing an album for a special thing? And I was like, Jesus, yes. I was about to ask you the same thing. He goes, all right, yeah, because that kind of convinced me that we need to do this. And Matt's a friend. He's been a friend since Never Not Funny. So I didn't want him to just be doing a friend thing. I didn't want to go to him because Matt's always been a champion of mine. And he's always thought I was really funny. He thought so on the show itself, and then even through the shit that happened, and because he would book me for his live stuff and see me do live stuff. But I never wanted to pimp him for a record deal. I had to prove it. And the fact that I was able to prove it last year at the festival with him in the room was the best. And for him to come up to me and then kind of broach the subject. And I said, well, it's funny. I was kind of thinking the same thing. He's like, well, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's figure it out. So we made plans, figured out where I was going to go. I wound up going to San Francisco because I like symmetry, weird symmetry. The first time I ever did the Success Is Not an Option shows were at the Darkroom Theater in San Francisco. And so I said, well, fuck it. That's where we close the book. We'll do it there, and that's where we close it. Here's how much I like symmetry. I'll tell you this. He asked when I wanted to release the album. We were looking at release dates. I said, I want to release it on August 22nd. And he got out the calendar. He goes, that's Thursday, which would be today, folks. And he said, why the 22nd? I said, that's my wedding anniversary. And he goes, oh, that's a thing for you? And I go, well, it's just, I like coordinating dates. So like big dates are together and that works. And he goes, well, we kind of like to do it on Tuesday. I go, well, how about the 20th? And he goes, does that work with you? And I go, yeah, because 20 is like a number of mine. It was Mike Schmidt's number when he was playing for the Phillies. I have a number thing, folks, as you know. I mean, I did a whole episode, I think for a half hour, all I said was 11, 11, 11, 11, 11, 11, 11, 11, 11, 11. So August 20th, that was coming out. So then when we were talking about doing the CD, by the way, I will tell you this, the CD is available right now on Amazon. It's available at iTunes. It's available through my website. If you go to the MikeSchmidtComedy.com and you go to the Joe Business page, and I'll talk about all this later. There's a new Joe Business page too. I'll talk about that later too. But you can order it through there, and you get an autographed copy and that sort of thing. But I like Symmetry so much that they have a code number for the album. They use it in their records. And he said, all right, we thought of this. Here's your code number. And the number was 042. And I wrote him back and I said, can I get a 040 for 40, for 40-year-old boy? And he goes, no, I'm sorry. We kind of do them in order, and we gave it to another comic. And I'm like, God damn it. I was furious. Because I have no connection to 42. None. It's 220s plus 2. That's how I'll look at it. What?
The meaning of the life, the universe, and everything. 42 is the answer to the ultimate question in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, it's a good number.
There we go. My CD is the answer to everything.
Yes, it is.
And it's available now. Thank you for solving that for me. I was very disappointed. All right, now I'm much happier about it. Fuck 40. So that was their code number, and then I can't be more proud of this CD. You have to see it. That's the thing, is you can buy the download and all that. That's great, and you'll enjoy it. And it's so funny. Yesterday it came out, and people bought it through the website. So I signed a bunch of copies and I mailed them today. And this is going to be staggered in waves, because there's the initial thing where everybody's really excited and they buy it, and now I have to hope they like it. And so that's always a weird thing, because this is a different CD. I try to explain it to people, and Matt in the press release, we tried to convey to people exactly what it is. It's not your typical stand-up album, and I'm not saying it's better than stand-up. It's just different. There's only 2 tracks on the album, and one of them is like over a half hour, and one of them is almost 50 minutes, and it's stories. And so it's a weird thing to ask people to tackle, because they're used to bite-size chunks that they can pull out of an album. Well, you kind of have to give this a listen, because I've said many times, more of a book than a movie. So you kind of have to invest time, and that's asking a lot to people, to please give me your time. I mean, it's something I asked you guys, and you guys all came on board, and I'm lucky that you give me your time every week. You're in the inner circle. You have to. You have no choice. You gave me your time. You were accepted in the inner circle, and now I expect you here every Thursday. When David and I were talking about the CD, we were trying to figure out what to name it. And, with this show, we usually just pull, the way it works is Lily will take notes, and then she pulls notes, and she decides what's the name, and she'll give me a couple of choices. And I'll weigh in, and I'll say, what do you think? And she chooses, and I usually defer to Lily in that capacity. So we did that with the album, and we sat and we listened to it, and David and I both, and I should tell you this, what fucking torture it is for me to listen to myself. I know that sounds stupid, because then people will tell me things and I'll go, Jesus Christ, that's hilarious. I got to listen to that. And occasionally I'll go back and listen to a show and I'll go, God damn, this is funny. And there's all sorts of shit I forgot that I said that's fucking great. So I get a little weird about it, and I don't know how to listen. So I had to listen to this CD. I had to listen to the audio, and we had to decide what was going to go where, and if there was going to be any cuts, and what should be moved and what should be taken out. And also, initially I was told that I needed to keep it to a certain amount of time, and then it turned out I kind of went over that. And so it looked like it was going to have to be a double album. And I was like, but that would have been prohibitive. The cost would have been even more. I said, I don't want to do a double album. So we figured out a way to make it where it wasn't a double album. Because if I was going to do a double album, I would have just done fucking 3 hours that night and recorded that and put it out, which was the actual Success Is Not an Option shows were over 3 hours. But we wanted to streamline it and have more of a calling card for people. So people, because again, you think it's tough asking people to sit for an hour and a half? Ask them to sit for over 3 hours and listen to a guy they've never fucking heard of. So they worked their magic. Ryan and Matt at a special thing really, stood out, and they gave me the audio, and I gave it to David, and I gave it to Lily, and we all listened to it and tried to figure out what it was going to be, and made cuts and did whatever we had to do, and we needed a name. So there were certain names so what's funny, what was a narrow audience and uncomfortable chairs. That was almost the name of the CD. A narrow. I think, as I said it, we took quotes from the narrative, and I said, and I think I said something like, "Nothing says a good time like a narrow audience and uncomfortable chairs." I don't even know if that made the final cut, if I remember correctly. If you hear it, you'll hear it when you hear the CD. So that was almost the name. And then there's another phrase that I don't want to say because it's really a funny line, and we almost made that. And a guy wrote it on my Facebook page. He's like, "Dude, at that line murdered me." And I'm like, that was really close to being the name of the album. And he goes, "I can see why." And I'm like, "All right, well, shh." Even though it's in a public forum, shh, don't give it away. And that's another thing that cracks me up about you people, and I love it. You're all like, "No spoilers. Don't spoil the podcast this week," or "Don't spoil the CD," or "Don't spoil things." And I understand that. You're like me. You want to enjoy things on your own time. And so if you have to put it off and you have to wait a couple of days, then you have to, but you don't want to go, but you still want to commiserate and meet with people who are fans of the show. And then people will write lines from the show and you're like, "God damn it, why are you doing that?" Well, because they're excited. We're all having fun. Look, you're all in the inner circle. We figure everybody in the inner circle has listened already. So David and I, we talked about what the concept was going to be, and then David came up with the name The Big Angry. And I loved it. And that was also from a line that I said here on the podcast once, where I said, "I'm just big and angry and waiting for something to happen." I don't know. And so David kind of took that and ran with it. And then he started to sketch out what the artwork was going to be like. And I got to tell you this, folks, you have to buy the CD. You have to buy a physical copy. If you buy it from me, that's great. But if you buy it from Amazon, you buy it from a guy on the street. Because if you go to any street corner, any major urban area, there are guys selling CDs out of a trench coat. You can find those dudes all over America. And I'm sure all of them have my CD. Some of them just have a coat with me in it. That's it. So it's worth it just to have the physical CD. And I was saying this too. Once I saw the actual package, once I finally saw it, and because David and I were putting it together, and I had to write the liner notes on the inner panel, and then I don't want to give stuff away. You'll see it. If you've been on Facebook, you've seen it. Or if you bought it, it's in the mail, because I sent out a ton today, and I got to send out a ton more tomorrow, which is great, because you guys, well, I'll get to that in a second. But again, once I saw the original package, I stared at it. Album covers were a big thing when I was growing up, and I've spent hours staring at the Kiss Dynasty album cover just because it was so, and then found out later on they meant that. That's what they really wanted. They wanted to make an image that was so compelling, people would stare at it. They actually got Francesco Scavullo to do the photography, and it's a composite. Obviously, because if you look at them, they're all four on top of one another, which wouldn't make any sense. But it's a composite where he put them all together and he made that photo work. And the green in Peter Criss's eyes is just astonishing. And Paul's face is chiseled. It's just again, it's perfect. For me, for a Kiss fan. I mean, if you're not a Kiss fan, you're like, "Who are these idiots in monster makeup?" But for me, as a kid, staring at it was amazing. And also, like the Iron Maiden album covers, when you would see Eddie with the fucking axe and on Killers. And I also liked Live After Death when it was the kind of, I can't explain it. But so Mex sent me what he did, and I was like, "Fuck, this is incredible. It's incredible." The image, it was just like a Maiden cover for me. And because I said I want kind of dark, sinister, violent to go with the tone of the album, and he nailed it. He fucking nailed it for me, to the point where I was so pleased with that, the outside, the front and back covers, and then like I said, the inside, the design we came up with, that I said, "This is worth it. This is worth your purchase price. I don't even want you to play the CD." And I know that sounds ridiculous, but to me, the whole package itself is well worth whatever you would invest. And great, then there's me talking. Good, that's good news. But if you don't play the CD, you'll never be disappointed. That's what I tell people. I'm like, because as long as you get to look at all of the other stuff, it's amazing, and that's perfect. You know who doesn't enjoy it so much? The guy above a bowling alley who heckled me, but that's fine. He might need to play the CD to enjoy it. But the rest of you, you're on your own. So when I saw the package, I was so excited, and then we gave it to those guys, and it was such a great process. And Ryan and Matt, I think you know this about me. I'm kind of gun shy. Like I will tell you what I fucking think, and then I will apologize for an hour for telling you what I fucking think. Because I can be pretty forceful about my opinions and how I feel. And Ryan and Matt made it easy, and because David and I have butted heads because I'm a child and he'll tell me something and I'll pout through a phone call. So like an hour later, then we get something done because I stopped being a kid about it. Lily's had that happen with me too, where we've gone back and forth and I've stormed out of her house and she wouldn't let me back in and whatever the fuck.
That was fun.
Oh, sure it was. Yeah, that was one of my favorite moments of all time.
That was great. Oh, memories.
But it never came to that with Matt and Ryan because, and I almost wish I could publish the emails. Like they would tell me what was going to happen, and then every email I would write would always would preface it with this: "Look, this is the part where you guys kill me, but," and then of course 3 paragraphs of what I wanted. Look, I understand that you guys are going to murder me and I'm being a pest and I'm trying not to meddle. However, and then 3 paragraphs of what I wanted, because I wanted to make sure that I know it's a collaboration. But at the same time, I need to be heard, but it was so fun. It's because I have these built-in mechanisms that think there's always going to be a fight. There's always going to be an argument. So I would send that stuff off to Ryan, and Ryan would send me a note and just go, "Awesome, this is your project, great, we love it." And then Belknap would say, "Yeah, that's cool, whatever you need." Like they were. They didn't give a shit about my crazy, you know what I mean? And they were able to see right past it. And it wasn't crazy mean. I'm not a psychopath, but I did whatever I could to preface the fact that I was going to tell them what I wanted with an apology for telling them what I wanted. And they were like, "Dude, you don't have to do that. We're in this together. We want it to be as successful as possible. Your name is on it as well as ours. And we're trying to represent you as an artist." Because I was reassured to release this by Matt and Ryan, because the night of, when I people who hung out with me that night will tell you, I was like, I don't know how it's going to go. Did I tell the story about the gum? Did I talk about that on here? There was gum on my shoe the entire show. And like, that's all I could hear. It's all I could hear was the gum. And I go, this show's ruined. But I made sure I did it and I performed and I did I did the best that I possibly could. But I was so furious. And even when we went out to eat afterwards, I'm like, God damn it, there was fucking gum on my shoe. I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. You don't know. You don't fucking know. You don't understand. Dude, it was great. It was fucking great. We were there. People were crying. Yeah, I know, but still. Gum. I don't want to give Gum a writing credit on my first fucking CD. That's awful. But then I shared those thoughts with Matt and Ryan. And it's funny. I told Matt that the next day before he even heard the audio. And he's like, ooh, all right. And then he listens to it. And I may have said this before, and I don't mean to. And I'm not trying to fucking pad my own ego or whatever. But Belknap called me. He goes, hey, this is about 4 days later. He goes, I get to listen to the audio finally. And I said, oh, okay. I said, what'd you think? And he goes, well, I had stuff to do. Like I sat down to kind of listen to it, and then I was going to, stop it and go and do some things that I have to do this afternoon. I couldn't stop it. I said, oh, yeah? I go, is that good? And he goes, yeah. He goes, I sat on my couch and listened to it all the way through. Like I couldn't stop it. I couldn't walk and do anything else. I found myself completely invested in not being able to turn it off. And he goes, I think this is great. And Ryan had said that to me the night of the show. Ryan, because these guys don't know. Like Ryan has never seen me. So he was there the night I recorded it, and I walked over to him, and he kind of had this look on his face like, whoa, that just fucking happened, right? And I was like, yeah, was it good? I had gum on my shoe the whole time. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. That was fucking amazing. Yeah, but there was fucking gum. I'm sure the microphone picked up all the gum, and everybody else was like, you were fucking great. And I'm like, I don't care, gum. But then when Matt told me he was able to listen to it in his house, and he goes, dude, I could not move. I had to be there for the entire experience. So I think we got something really unique and something that we can really kind of put forward. And it's going to be a good calling card for you. I said, okay, good. I'm excited. And then we went through everything and then Mex put the package together, which made the CD even much better, much, much better. And Lily was there every step of the way, listening and helping and telling me what she thought. And so even though it's my name on the CD, and this podcast is essentially my podcast, it's everybody's podcast. It doesn't happen if it's not for Lily. It doesn't happen if it's not for David. It doesn't happen if it's not for Farmer Ryan taking care of my website. Because this week we put a new Joe Business page up, and it came down to the wire. And he's redoing his farmhouse. He's got the Waltons up there baling hay and painting and all this other bullshit. He's got some Amish guys raising a fucking barn, and I don't know what the fuck he's... And even worse, the Amish guys putting up the barn, Woody Harrelson infiltrated them and fucking ruined the barn the first time they tried to put it up. And then he took Randy Quaid bowling. It was fucking crazy. Oh my God. So the barn never even got up. And yet Ryan still found the time to fix the website. So I say this CD belongs to everybody. And Lily and David, and of course Ryan and Matt and Special Things Ryan, and all of you. As you know, because the CD did come out yesterday, and I never know what's going to happen. and the CD went up for sale at midnight, and I got a note immediately from our friend Liam overseas telling me, "Oh my God, it's in the iTunes store now," and he put a picture on my Facebook page. And I should tell you this too. I keep forgetting that the 40-year-old boy and Mike Schmidt Incorporated with Lily and David, this is now a global concern. We're not just contained in the parameters of America or North America, folks. We are world fucking wide. And this came into sharp relief for me yesterday when I was filling orders for Italy and England and Canada and Australia and Brazil. Mind you, I'm going to get fucking murdered on the shipping to those towns. And I don't know why I just called Brazil and Italy a town. That's fun. Countries. But I don't give a fuck, man. I want you guys, I want everybody to buy it and enjoy it, because yesterday, like I said, I'm filling orders, and you guys kept buying. Some of you bought the download and ordered the live CD because you want to have the package in your hand, but you wanted to listen to it yesterday. I mean, you're fucking incredible. You're incredible. And you kept writing, and you made it almost like a football game. Like, I had people telling me, they're like, dude, you're, because someone told me, you're on the iTunes comedy chart. So I went and I was number 10. And I actually took a screenshot of it. I go, I cannot believe that I'm number 10 in iTunes the same day Patrice O'Neal and Jim Norton released albums. Thank you so much for everything you've done. And so people saw that, and instead of going, yay, you're 10, they all went, fuck, we can do better than that. Let's start buying. So people started buying the CD, and they started to write me, you're number 6. You're number 5. Dude, you're number 4 now. And then last night I was number 3 in iTunes behind Patrice O'Neal and I think Jim Gaffigan. That was or the Lonely Island was actually ahead of me. Lonely Island and Patrice O'Neal and me. I was 3rd in comedy in iTunes. And I have to tell you, that's a big fucking deal. Granted, you'll be like, oh, well, it's just iTunes and it's one small chart and it's comedy and it's the ghetto chart and nobody fucking cares. Fine. If you want to think that way, that's great. But here's the way I look at it. I was ahead of Gaffigan. I was ahead of Pete Holmes. I was ahead of all these names. Pete Holmes has a show coming on after Conan O'Brien. Gaffigan is a fucking monster. And granted, it's an older album, and that's fine. Jim Norton's new album was behind me for a while. Maybe not now, but it was for a while. And he's been on Letterman. He's on Opie and Anthony. He's got a huge fan base on the East Coast. Patrice O'Neal, brilliant comedian, also being pimped by Bill Burr, and all of his friends on the East Coast are saying bye because his family gets a cut from it, and that's beautiful. Good for them. So he was number 1, and he stayed there, and rightfully so. That's good. But I was number 3, and nobody knows who the fuck I am. Nobody. Everybody else has notoriety. Everybody's been on television. No one knows who I am except you people. And you fucking stepped up, and you made me number 3 in iTunes. You sold out my physical copies of CDs. I had copies to sell and mail to you guys, and they give you a certain number. They were gone. They were gone by last night. So I shipped them all today, and now I just checked my email. I've got more orders that I have to fill because you won't stop. Amazon is sold out. They're on back order. And it's funny, there's a guy on Facebook. I was excited about that because I heard Amazon was on back order. And he wrote, I work with Amazon. They always under order. It's terrible. But I do love the CD. So I was like, well, so you've just destroyed my thought that I sold out at Amazon. Okay, that's fine.
Great that you sold.
Well, even if they had one, I don't give a fuck. It's on back order, so that's fine.
They had more than one.
And AST is selling them too, because I talked to Ryan today because I had to pick up more physical copies for you people who keep ordering the CD. And also, let me tell you this. Not only does nobody know who the fuck I am, there was no press at all about this. This came out yesterday. I didn't even get a chance. I mean, I've been telling you about it and mentioning it, but that's just you guys who listen, okay? That hasn't been any sort of reach outside of our inner circle. This is the inner circle who made this happen. Anything that happens from this point on is great. And I hope people get on board, and I hope people go ahead and listen, and I hope people love it, and I hope someday to be a guy who can come to your town and not have to call and negotiate with a 40-seat room to see whether or not I can work inside their parameters of being in hard R or gay people on stage or whatever the fuck they got going on. I just want to be able to be booked and come to town and meet you guys and have you come out and see what I fucking do, because I'm really fucking good at it. And I'm trying now to rev it up and get out there and be out there as much as I possibly can. But buy the CD. I shouldn't even tell you to buy the CD. You've bought the CD. And you continue to buy the CD. And I have to tell you, I am so grateful. Because you know what? By buying the CD, you allowed me to pay Lily some money. You're allowing me to give David some money, because it's been pretty fucking bad here for a while. I mean, I'm living off everything and trying to make it happen, and that's fine, and whatever the fuck. We're all scraping to get by, and I'm facing all this looming bankruptcy and bullshit, and nobody cares, because you know what? Right now, I wrote this on the Westside 86 Jokers fan page, and I said, you know what? I feel like George Bailey at the fucking end of It's a Wonderful Life. Just a fucking laundry basket out, and people coming in and just throwing money in it, trying to help me as much as they possibly can. And whether I'm staring this shit in the face or bankruptcy or whatever I've got in my future and divorce and lawyers and everything else that I have to go through, I have this moment. I have now. I have you people always. The inner circle will always be there. And I know no matter what, whenever I fall, you'll catch me, you'll pick me up, and you'll be there to make sure that I don't fucking fall again. And eventually, everyone is going to know who I am. And eventually, everyone is going to want to be a part of what I do. And eventually, people will buy CDs and they'll pay to see me live, and they'll come out and they'll be there and they'll always say, "Oh, you know what? We knew Mike when." But you know what? No, they didn't. They didn't know me when. Eventually, everyone is going to be on board. But we always know who's in the inner circle. And when we see each other on the street, whether there's all these people making noise around us and they think that they're part of it, and they will be. Everybody will be included. But they won't be included like some of you are. They won't be included like all of us are. They won't be included like you guys who have been here from the beginning and have carried me and championed me the entire time. So you know who you are, and you know you're in the inner circle. And all of the newbies who come up, hey, everybody's welcome. Go ahead. There's a big fucking car and there's room for everybody. But those of you who are in the inner circle, you know. And when I come to your city or when you come to mine, and you see me on the street, you'll know. Because I'll look at you and you'll look at me. You guys can get me at mike@MikeSchmidtComedy.com. You guys can be my friend at Facebook.com/the40yearoldboy. You can follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/the40yearoldboy. You can find the man who created the most amazing CD package and does all of the music and all of the commercials and everything for this show, my friend Dave Hernandez. He is available at facebook.com/DavidMexHernandez. And I would recommend becoming his friend because he actually posts some in-progress paintings, some sketches from the show, all sorts of stuff. So you can go ahead and follow him and be his friend on Facebook. And he's by the way, he's actually funnier than me. It's so funny. I'll post stuff and he'll write something funny and I'll just be like, what did I tell you about being funnier than me, dude? You can't do it. But go be his friend on Facebook. That'd be great. Our friend Lily Von Stupp is the producer of this show. She has several Twitter accounts that you can follow. You can follow her at twitter.com/MNTs, twitter.com/Lily Von Stupp. And now you can follow her at twitter.com/ Hollywood BQ Fest. That's twitter.com/Lily Von Stupp, twitter.com/MNTs, and twitter.com/Hollywood BQ Fest. And if you'd like to just go ahead and bypass all of that red tape and you'd like to write her a personal note, and you'd like to find out what part of her body looks best in rope bondage, you can write her at Lily at burlesque411.com. That's Lily, Lili, at burlesque411.com.
Mike Schmidt, the Big Angry.
No! You can't do what? You can't do what did you do, Ray? Oh.
On August 20th, everybody dies.
Want to remind you folks about the Monday Night Teas every Monday night at the 3 clubs in Santa Monica, on Santa Monica and Vine. Or is it in Hollywood on Santa Monica and Vine? I think that's where it is.
Hollywood on Vine, actually.
It's in Hollywood on Vine near Santa Monica, a
It's actually
stone's
on Vine,
throw.
Santa Monica.
It's on Vine and Santa Monica. Well, there's a gas station betwixt the two. But and a taco truck sometimes, occasionally. I don't know if it's there anymore because the summer is ending. Really? But it doesn't matter. Nobody cares about any of the surroundings. Nobody cares about the military surplus store across the street. Nobody cares about the Yoshinoya kitty corner. All we care about is the 3 clubs on Vine near Santa Monica, because every Monday night, that's the place to be here in Los Angeles, ladies and gentlemen, because it contains the greatest, the hottest, the most stupendous, the most unbelievable burlesque show in the history of wherever the sun shines. And it is put together by my friend who also produces this show. Her name is Lily Von Stupp. Hey, Lily, how are you?
Hi, Michael!
How are you? Are you good? You're fine? Everything's okay?
I am spectacular.
How-
Exhausted, but spectacular.
Last week's show had the, it was a special out-of-town show.
Oh, the pictures are up. It's amazing.
The Gigawatts were in town. I'm excited to see the pictures. I wish I could have come to the show, but unfortunately, CD and nonsense, all sorts of nonsense, but I was not able to attend, and I had to work on Monday night. I was Travis Barbecue. But I heard it went very well. I was disappointed because I like to see Out of Town Vagina. I mean, I would have loved to seen that, but
You won't see vagina at the Monday night.
you won't.
You'll see clothed vagina.
You won't.
Really?
Yes, I have X-ray vision. It's about time I revealed that to everybody. And that's the only reason I've done this show for 6 years.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's funny. All right, so that was an amazing show, and you had a good time with the Gigawatts. It was good, although they've left a bag behind, I understand.
I think they left something in the room, yeah.
You know, what did they leave? Did they leave their jiggle or their watts?
I don't know.
Open the bag and find out. There's a show this week, but that was
They
an
do it every time. When we were at the castle last night, we took them up there to the Magic Castle, and I'm like, I'd like you to meet my friends. They're an out-of-town burlesque troupe, the Gigawatts, and they all went, Gigawatts.
and they all say Gigawatts and they shake their
They
tits.
shake their boobs. It's adorable.
Yeah, that sounds great. I don't know if adorable's the word I'd use.
It's funny.
Yeah, I don't know about funny.
It's hot.
All right, good. I'll go with all those.
Stimulating.
Stimulating. Look at you adding syllables. So next week it's the Monday Night Tease, but there's no show on Monday.
No.
So folks, it's dark. Relax. Take your Monday off because you need to relax and get revved up and excited for Tuesday Night Tease.
On Tuesday.
Which is going to be an amazing burlesque show with like 30 acts and 1 million people coming in because it's a benefit show to try to raise some funds for the Hollywood Burlesque Festival, which is coming up in December.
Yeah.
And there's over 30 dancers. I will tell you this: our friend Lily is hosting at least one segment, possibly 2 segments. I'm going to be there. I'm supposed to host part of it, but unfortunately, Travis Barbecue must ride again on Tuesday, and then he has to leave and hustle over to become Mike Schmidt. So I will be there at some point. I think I'm going to be there later in the evening. I'll be hosting the later segment. We're still deciding what I'm going to do, what my participation is going to be. But it doesn't matter. You're not coming to see me. You're coming to see fucking hot girls. And there's going to be...
Boys.
And boys, there's boylesque there. There's all sorts of variety stuff. There's magicians and jugglers and cymbals and milk chuggers, and it's going to be fucking great. Tickets are available now at brownpapertickets.com. You can go to MondayNightTees.com for all the information. You go to Facebook.com/MondayNightTees and become a member on there, and you will get all of the updates and information that Lily posts in there with all of her flyers and also photos. That's the most important part, photos from the previous week's shows. You can check those out. Those are always a lot of fun, and go check out the photographer's sites. But this Tuesday, August 27th at the 3 Clubs on Vine near Santa Monica. There is a colossal benefit show for the Hollywood Burlesque Festival. Our friend Lily is hosting. I will also be involved in some capacity, and tons of naked girls. You know you want to come out and check that out, right? I know I do, and I will be there. So make sure you do the same thing. You guys can go to Facebook.com/the40year-old-boy and be my friend and check out all the upcoming live dates and see, like I said, Mex posts on his page and sometimes on my page in progress artwork. You can go right now, like I said, be my friend at Facebook.com/the40year-old-boy, and we'll talk about the live shows that are coming up. September 28th, I will be in Austin, Texas. That's September 28th in Austin, Texas at the Cold Town Theater. Tickets are on sale now at brownpapertickets.com. You can also go and look for tickets for Green Bay, as I mentioned earlier in the show. See me in Green Bay on November 2nd, before I die in Green Bay on November 4th. I mean, granted, Catfight Jill's going to do her best to protect me, but I don't know if she's going to be able to hold off an entire crowd. But I'll tell you what, if you got a 5'1" chick in a Packers jersey, you can pretty much get anything done, really, when you think about it. In Green Bay, if you got a 5'1" girl with a Packers jersey on your side, everybody will listen, right? That's Catfight Jill. All she's got to do is pull out her phone and stare at it and start texting with a mean face. Everybody's going to, we are not fucking with them at all. We can't get near them. And I'm sure all of her friends will surround me anyway. So it's good. It'll be a fun time at that game. But come see me in Green Bay. Tickets are on sale now. Go to, and it's the Green Room Lounge. That's off the top of my head. I'm pretty sure that's the name of it because they changed the name. It used to be something different. But I'm pretty sure it's the Green Room Lounge. And as I said, tickets are on sale now. I've sold some tickets now. I know our friend KC is coming to the show. I'll be excited to see KC. He's seen me a couple of times, which is nice. And all of you Wisconsinites, everybody come out to Green Bay and check me out for the show that weekend. That'll be fun. And other cities are in the works. I thought I had another date in November, but it fell through. But I may have, whatever. Who cares? Watch this space with your ears. Listen to this space, folks. Because there are going to be live shows that are going to be going on sale and coming out. And we've got other stuff coming up too. But the most important thing right now, of course, is the CD. Is available, The Big Angry. If you go to MikeSchmidtComedy.com and you go to the Joe Business page, you can get Tons of stuff there. There's, of course, autographed artwork, autographed by myself and our friend Lily Von Stupp and our friend David Hernandez. And really? That seems strange. So the sketches, no, I'm sorry, Lily's showing me something. And really, that seems strange. I didn't know you had a cock. But I'll tell you what, that doesn't change a thing. So, folks, you can go and check out the stuff at the Joe Business page. Like I said, there's autographed artwork. You can get any of the pieces of artwork for the show, any of the explosions of it, and they'll be signed by me, by David, and by Lily. Please go ahead and do that. There's the year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, and year 5 download sets available individually or together as the UN of Evil box set. Of course, we have the For the Life of Schmitty single, which is available as a download. It's $1.29. There is the Schmitty Comes Alive download, which was me live at the Los Angeles Podcast Festival, featuring a story you've never heard before on this show, and you never will hear. You may hear it live because it might be one of the stories that I tell when I'm on the road. I don't know. I haven't figured it out. I don't know. I still don't know what I'm going to do. But I'll figure it out. I had a name. We had a name picked out for this tour, and I'm on the fence about that. So, but we'll figure it out. We'll figure the whole thing out. We'll all do it together. The Inner Circle. We'll get together. I'll run past all of you. I need 10,000 opinions. That's what I need. Every listener gets to tell me what the fuck they think. And you know what? Whether I want them to or not. So again, like I said, artwork. There's the audio downloads. The Big Angry CD is available on my website. An autographed copy is available through my website. You can also get it at iTunes. You can download it. You can get it at Google Play. You can get it at the AST Records store. Google AST Records, and then their store comes up and it's in there. It's on the page, which is great. Go ahead and pick it up somewhere. That would be good. But if you want the autographed copy, you can come to my website and I will go ahead and write it and sign it. You'll give me your address. I'll mail it out to you. That's how mailing works, folks. Idiots. I'll unwrap it. I'll take a marker and I'll sign your name and I'll sign my name and then I'll put it in an envelope that also has your name and address on it and I'll seal that envelope and I'll put a stamp on it. Well, I can't put a stamp on it. What I'll do is I'll put a label on it and then I'll bring it to the post office and they'll put a stamp on it. That's how mailing works. I'm Mr. Rogers. Let me put a sweater on. So go ahead and pick up the Big Angry CD. And I should tell you this now, folks, at the Joe Business page. Here's something else I'm dabbling in now. We've got downloads galore. We've got all sorts of stuff for sale. And by the way, check out the Joe Business page just to see the inside of a sorority girl's bedroom. That's what you want to do. And we put fun little jokes in there. There's little hover text, so you can check out all the little jokes when you scroll over stuff and see the things that I wrote. But my favorite part is when David sent it to me. There's a picture of him on the girl's dresser, and that fucking made me laugh. So that's awesome. So please check out the Joe Business page just for the fun. You don't have to buy anything while you're there, but I guarantee you, while you're there looking at the fun stuff, you're gonna go, Jesus Christ, I want to buy something. But you'll notice there's like a poster where you can get the podcast downloads and the artwork downloads, and then there's words you can click on. There's all sorts of images and things like that. However, folks, more importantly, well, not more importantly, as importantly, but this is new. You'll see a pennant on the wall that says Amazon. I've become an Amazon affiliate, which means if you go through that link and you buy things that I've recommended, they give me some money. And if you just go through that link and buy anything, even stuff I haven't recommended, I think they still give me some money. Is that how it works, Lily? All right, Lily knows because she has her own Amazon affiliate store. But I'll tell you this: it's fledgling right now. It's still being built. So, because I don't know, I'm going to turn it over to Max because if you go in there now, like go click on the Amazon thing, you'll wind up in my store. And I did my best to try to make it aesthetically pleasing, like because you get to color the links and the thing. So I made it red and black, and I tried to make it like Mike Schmidt themed, like 40-year-old boy themed. And so we put in some stuff that I would recommend, like Sopranos and Fight Club and Tarantino, and the CD, of course, is in there in the download. And then there's some books that Lily recommended, a book and a movie that she's in, a DVD with Satan's Angel, that's in there. And also Max recommended a book about religion because that's what David does. So that's also there from Christopher Hitchens, who is a genius, a brilliant man, and a great writer. That book is there. And I recommended Quick Change. A bunch of stuff is in there for you to take a look at. I just got like a hiccup there. Did that read? What's happening? That's Christopher Hitchens. He's coming back. He wants to come back and talk about some religion here on the show. I'll tell him to go back about an hour and listen to me talk about it. So there's some stuff in my store, but then you can go and buy anything in Amazon as long as you went in through my link, and then they recognize me and I get something. I think, I don't know, a prize. I think I become the king of the internet. I'm not sure. But it depends on how much you buy. So, folks, if you want to do that kind of thing, and yes, I crawl into your wallet all the time, and I do apologize for that, but it's nice of you to keep the show running, buying CDs, going to the Amazon affiliate. People donate to the show. If you want to do that on the Mike Schmidt, comedy.com in the upper left-hand corner, there's a little donate of little Schmitty. Our friend Andrew Bennett in Boston this week he wrote me and he goes, hey, I donated you a weird amount. It's not for anything. It's just I like round numbers in my PayPal account. So let me tell you folks, if you want to follow the Andrew Bennett method, and you go to PayPal and you're like, Jesus Christ, what's all this loose change and these extra monies? Go ahead and click and send it to me. And then you'll have a nice round number in your PayPal account. By the way, I just called them monies. As if I were 8 years old. And I looked at my mom and I said, can we just go to the bank and buy more money? That's the first time I ever made my mom laugh. I think I've told that anecdote on here before. As my dad sat at the coffee table and drank, no doubt, loaded coffee. Before my brother spilled it all over himself. Lenny did that when we were kids. He reached up onto the table and he pulled a coffee cup over and he scalded himself. Then he went outside and he got hit by a car. My brother was O.J. Simpson from The Naked Gun. I was raised with Nordberg. He did a couple of bad things. All right, so there you go. That's that. So go to MikeSchmidtComedy.com. Check out all the pages there and see that neat stuff. And as I've mentioned, go to Facebook.com, go to Twitter.com and follow us and look at us all over the place. And go for the live dates. Go to BrownPaperTickets.com. Put in my name. There are live tickets available to come and see me in Austin. Come and see me in Green Bay. And other cities are going to follow. And I'll be happy to tell you about them once they are officially announced. Oh, and also Los Angeles Podcast Festival. Please don't forget that. I think it's October 4th, 5th, and 6th. And I'm performing on the Saturday at 4 o'clock in the afternoon in the Espada room. Yeah, so I'll be doing a show there. Again, don't know what I'm doing yet, but I'll be there. And in other parts of the hotel, there's Walking the Room and other shows, but I'll be there if you want to come by. If you want to sample a third of each show, I don't know what third of mine I would recommend. But actually, let's put it this way. Don't make my third the first third, because you'll never leave the room for the other two thirds. So I will be available. That's at the Los Angeles Podcast Festival. I'm doing a show Saturday, and then I'm on a panel Sunday talking about podcasting networks. So I'm looking forward to that. I don't know who else is. I'm sure nobody, but I know I'm looking forward to it. As I sit there with very important podcasters, and I just go, why am I even here? And I spin the broken propeller on my hat. And I'll tell you this. I forgot to mention it last week. Our friend Rich, who is a fan of the show, has put together episode guides for the series, for the actual show itself. He completed year 1 a while ago. Well, he's completed year 2. And you can find it if you go to the Westside 86 Jokers fan club page in Facebook. I believe there's a link for it on there. And Rich also put it at mesablack.tumblr.com. I think that's what it is off the top of my head. I apologize, Rich. I should have memorized this. But the Ripper works hard on that. I appreciate that so much. So there are year 2 episode notes available right now, and it's join the fan club and you'll find out where, or you can just go ahead and find it if you search for it on Facebook. He's posted it there, and I think it's mesablack.tumblr.com. Or mesablack.tumblr.com. I don't know how Tumblr works. I know they need to buy an E. But other than that, yeah, so the episode guide is available, so go ahead and check that out too. We appreciate it. And now Lily and I are going to, I'm going to eat. Lily's going to watch me eat. She's juicing all weekend, but I'm going to make her, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to force her to come with me where I go somewhere and I eat something. Hey, does soup broth count? I'll buy you some soup and you can drink the broth and I'll eat the chunky parts. Because it's Wednesday, I can eat.
That sounds so gross.
What? Hey, why does that sound gross? You can drink the broth and I'll eat the chunky parts. There's chunky parts in soup.
Yeah, but that just sounds gross.
Okay, well then fine. Stay here and juice. Go ahead and drink fucking celery pulp. That's good. That'll work out better for you. Believe me, you'll be crying in the middle of the night just going, why didn't I let him eat the chunky parts?
God, that sounds dirty.
Well, everything sounds dirty to you, for fuck's sake. All right, well, good. All right, so fine. Stay here and juice. Lily's juicing. I don't know why. She looks amazing. I don't know why she wants to be putting beets and carrots in her body. Well, all right. That,
Really?
yeah.
Really? Fuck you.
I didn't mean it like that. That didn't sound right at all. Although, wouldn't that be more fun than juicing?
God, probably.
Yeah.
As gross as that sounds, it's more fun.
That's gross. Carrots and beets?
I don't like food in my vagina. I'm not gonna lie.
You don't?
No.
You're the only one, in my experience.
Really?
I don't know. I was with a girl. Oh, I can't tell this fucking story. I certainly can't tell this story now. This is a longer story than at the end. All right, never
I think
mind.
we should go out with it. Let's do it.
No, all right. I was on the road, and this is early, like before Karen. So I was doing stand-up here in Southern California, and I met a girl at a place called The Barn in Tustin, which is, I've talked about that in here before, because I have, it's weird, it's this shitty open mic. I used to do Cattleman's Wharf and all these different places, and there was the Anaheim Marriott I used to do shows at all the time. Well, I met a girl at The Barn in Tustin, and she thought I was funny for some weird reason. And this is when I had crazy hair at the time. I had you know what? Maybe I'll make that a time machine photo this week. It was mullet Mike, but like crazy fucking curly long. It looked good. All right, so I look good, folks. It's a mullet, but it was just fucking. It looked great. All right, so, and this is before. I can't tell this fucking story. I really can't. So I wind up with this girl. And we wind up at the bar, and then I have roommates, so we can't. She made it pretty evident that whatever I wanted to do was fine. So and she was a little freaky, like she was, she had her hand in my pants at the bar. Okay. Well, I mean, for literally knowing her for 45 minutes, I mean, it was like she, and she was a friend of another comic who was there, and I kind of like gave him the look like, is this anything I should worry about? He's like, go ahead, because he was just her friend. I thought it was, I don't know if he had a claim on her or whatever. I'm not going to say names. So I had roommates, so we couldn't go back to my place. So she's just like, well, you can come by me. I live close. And I was like, all right. And so we went out to get in my car, and she goes, well, you don't have to drive. She goes, we can walk to my house. And she had a beer. As we walked out, I go, well, you can't take, but there's no bouncers at the fucking barn in Tustin. And she ordered one. She actually ordered it to go, and she's walking out. And I go, you can't take a beer. She goes, it's fine. It's dark. Nobody's going to see. So I said, all right. So we had to walk up the street, and then we had to go up. She lived a couple blocks away, and I'm like, I just wanted to drive because let's put it this way, I just wanted to fuck. So I mean, I just wanted to get her in my car because I figured I could at least, maybe I could even fuck her in my car. We didn't have to go to her place. Fuck, let's just do this. So I just want to get her alone at that point. So I'm like, well, I can drive. She's like, no, we can walk. It'll be more fun. Let's walk. It's dark. So we're walking, and we're making out as we're walking, and she's got her hand in my pants, and she's pulling me by my cock to her house. And we had to walk. We had to cut through. Whatever. I'm not gonna. So we get to her place. It wasn't far. It's only 2 blocks, but it took like 40 minutes to get there because we couldn't keep our hands off one another. And then we get in, and we just start going at it in the living room. And I'm like, do you have any like roommates? She's like, no, we're fine. So we hit the couch, and we're making out, and I get her shirt off, and her hand is still in my pants. She got one hand in my pants, one hand on her beer. And so we've been making out, and she'd keep taking sips of beer. And I have to be honest with you, I don't drink at all. I love when a girl drinks. To fucking sex with a girl who's been drinking. Not drunk, not like crazy. And I'm not saying I want her inhibitions to go down. For some reason, the taste of liquor in a girl's mouth when you're making out with her is fucking amazing. And I think it's just because it reminds me of all the times it happened. When I would work at a bar and some girl would have just like, she'd be drinking beer or wine or something, and then you wind up making out with her, and it just brings you back instant fucking hard on. So I'm making out with her, and she's drinking beer, and we're making out, and Jesus Christ. So she's topless, and then I got my shirt off, and then she's tugging on my pants to get my pants off, and so they're off, and I'm wearing at the time, I was not a boxer brief man at the time yet, so I had black underwear, but it was like weird racing Italian underwear. This is when I was like, oh, I got to wear fancy underwear. I got to because only when I went out, but normally I wore tighty whities all the fucking time. But when I would go out, I would wear this fancy fucking black. I had like a few pairs of it, whatever the fuck. You don't care. Nobody cares. You sure they do. Everybody wants to think of that image. Fucking, I wasn't super fat then, but it was like, let's put it this way. It just, you know what? They were small underwear. So you know what it looked like? It looked like I was on TV naked, but the censor put a black bar over my cock. That's how small this underwear was. And then when you get hard in it, it would expand. So then it really looked like a black bar. You're like, oh, yay. So I'm sitting there in my racing underwear. I'm ready to go a couple of laps, and I'm trying to get her naked. And I do, and she's completely naked. I'm just in my black fucking Dario Argento pants. I don't know. Hold on. That Dario Argento, I was going to say Dario, who's the racer? Dario Arquette? Because Dario Argento made Suspiria. I don't know what underwear he wore. That's a famous horror director. Why the fuck did his name pop into my head? Jesus Christ. I started to think, who's married to fucking Ashley Judd? I can't pull his goddamn name. The race car driver. Damn it. All right. Actually, Damien Argento made Suspiria, right? Fuck, I'm lost. All right, so I have this tiny pair of underwear on, and I'm about to rip it to shreds with my cock, and we're making out, and then I get her naked, and then we're on a couch, and she stands up over me, so I can go down on her. Rather than laying down on the couch or laying down on the floor, she stands on the couch with her feet on like my hips, and she's at face level. And she squats down on my face. I'm sorry, folks. That's what happened. So I'm going down on her, and she's, her legs are shaking, and she's kind of trying to keep her balance. But I'm holding her up still. I got my hands on her ass, and as I'm going down on her, she reaches down, and she takes the beer bottle, and she starts to rub it on her pussy. And she kind of nudges my face out of the way, and she's looking down at me and making like hot faces, like, "Oh yeah, like, yeah, you like this." And she's rubbing between her legs with the cold beer bottle, and she's looking at me like, "Oh yeah," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I don't care. I mean, that's good. Like, you're naked and your pussy's in my face, and let's go to work and do whatever you want. You want to go ahead and if you want Lowenbrow to stand in for a while, that's fine. I'll check that out." Let Lowenbrow have a turn. I'll sit back and I'll try not to destroy my fucking black underwear as I stare right up into your gupper. That's fine with me. I mean, here's the good friends. Tonight is kind of special. So she's rubbing it. She's got the bottle. She's working it, and she's looking down at me, and she's like swinging her hips, and I can't take it so much anymore because I mean it's that weird thing because she's got kind of a buzz on, so she thinks that's sexy, and it's not. The sexiest part of you is your vagina, and it's right in my face. At that point I don't need a floor show. You have the job. I was face deep. You were shaking. Everything was good. We were doing well, and then you pushed me away to give your oat soda a turn. Fuck that. Trust me, I can do this. Although if you're into it, that's fine. You can't do that. You can't start giving orders. I'm in her house, for fuck's sake. And honestly, we walked home in the dark. I don't even know where my car is at this fucking point. So she's standing over me, and she's got the beer bottle working. And so I kind of just I pull her forward because I've got her by the haunches around the back, and I pulled her forward, and I bury my face between her legs again, and she kind of sinks down. Now she's kneeling on my shoulders on the couch, and she's shaking, and I'm holding her, and some things happen that I may have caused. Nice. And so she's on top of me still, and I should tell you this. If you don't stop me, forget about it. I will. That's fine with me, and let's do this all night. I will scuba all night long, and wear you like a mask. That's fine. So, but she's into it. So she's got she's kneeling and she's like leaning forward, and then she does it. She kind of disengages, and she takes the bottle again, and she starts rubbing herself with the bottle and looking at me, and she's just like, oh, and she's holding. So now she's holding my hair with one hand, and she's rubbing herself with the bottle with the right arm, and looking down at me with like sex face, like, oh yeah, and now also after coming face. So she's like kind of shaking and like breathing heavy, but she thinks she's got to put a show on for me, and it's like, take a look at the black racing underwear. It's about to be destroyed. You do not need to put on a fucking show. You're not Clute, all right? I'm in for this for the long haul. So she reaches down, and she's got the beer bottle between her legs, and then she squeezes her legs together and she holds it there, and she leans forward to kiss me and put her hands in my hair. But she's holding the beer between her legs, and she leans forward in my ear, and she's like, "Are you ready to fuck me?" She whispers it, but drunk whispers it. So it's like, "Are you ready to fuck me?" And then just like plunges her tongue into my ear, which I'm a fan of. I'm all over that. Bite me, lick me, anywhere you want. But it was like drunk girl tongue, so it was like a camel almost. Like she's just like, just like that. And I'm like, yes. Look at this black underwear. It's shiny. It's turgid. And so she stands up again, and she leans back, knees on my shoulders, and she reaches down and takes the beer bottle, and she goes, "Are you gonna fuck me?" And she takes the beer bottle and starts to put it inside herself. Not her mouth. So she starts kind of fucking herself with this beer bottle, which and I should tell you, in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s, bottles were fat. So she's got it about a third of the way in and out and in and out. And in my head, I'm like, I don't know if I can follow that. I mean, I know what I'm packing, and you can see it right here clearly in the black racing underwear, but Larry Lowenbrow's got about 2.5 inches of girth on me at this point. Tonight is kind of special. So she's fucking herself with the beer bottle, and she's looking at me, and she's just like, oh, and she's shaking, and she's holding me, and I'm holding her. And so I do what I do, of course. I just bury my face between her legs and start eating her out again while she's fucking herself with the beer bottle. And she's fucking herself, and then she stops, and she takes her hand out, and the beer bottle stays
Oh, impressive.
inside of her. And I'm going down on her, and to the point where I'm going down on her, and she's leaning forward, and she's hugging my face, she's holding my head, and I'm pressed firmly in her waist, and it dawns on me that the beer bottle is it's standing alone. The beer bottle stands alone. That's an impressive Kegel, or it's just there's no room for it to slip out. So I kind of reach up to remove it in case I wanted to maybe replace it with something else and lay her down, and I go to take it out, and it won't release. And she doesn't care. She's like into it, and I'm going down on her. But I've got one hand on her ass and the other hand on this beer bottle, and I'm kind of like gently trying to pull it out. It won't come out. And I don't know if she's fighting me and holding on to it, or it's just fucking stuck. I have no idea. Look, ladies, I love the vagina, but I'm well equipped with the outside of it. Once we get inside, it's a goddamn riddle. I got no fucking idea. I don't know if there's a mousetrap or there's a little guy in there with a fucking clamp. I have no clue. All I know is when a baby comes out, it's like a luge, and he shoots in and out and he comes out. That's it. That's that. Well, instead, she's giving reverse birth to a Lowenbrau bottle, and I don't know how to fucking handle it. Except to keep, fucking licking. And so I'm like, all right, maybe like a combination lock. Maybe I'll somehow hit the right combination, and it'll just come out with a bunch of fucking money. It's like pulling a slot machine. Maybe the bottle will come out followed by a stream of gold coins, and we'll go have some fucking breakfast. It'll be great. But I start to get a little worried, because now I kind of tug it a little bit, and it won't come out, and I'm still going down on her, and she's shaking, and she starts to kind of, because I'm familiar with how she reacts to these situations, because she had done it about 15 minutes earlier. So it's starting again, and she's like, her thighs are wet, but for some reason, like, everything's wet, but the bottle won't fucking come out, and I'm face deep, and now, like I said, I'm just eating around and hoping eventually something springs loose. So now I start to kind of twist the bottle like you're twisting off a jar top, because I'm trying to loosen it, and I'm going down on her, and then she fucking shakes, and this time violently lets loose. And this time when she lets loose, I'm holding the bottle, and I'm pulling it, and then it all comes out, and I guess, I don't know if her pussy was just contracting around it while I was going down on her, but then it just everything fucking lets loose, and I'm pulling the bottle, and I pull it, because I'm tugging it, and it comes out right away as she's there, and I swear to God, it goes like I had released it from a vacuum seal. And she's just leaning there and shaking, and she's hugging me, and it's so funny. She collapses on top of me. So she's on my lap, pressed chest to chest, and she's got her face buried in my neck, and she's talking in my ear, and she's like, and I'm just holding her, and I got my left arm around her back, and my right arm, I hold it up, and I'm just holding a Lowenbrau bottle that's half full. And it was open on the top, and I'm like, did that cause the vacuum sealing? The top with that? When it went inside, was there an air packet? And it just, because now all of a sudden, do I need NASA to figure out this chick's fucking vagina? I have no idea. I got to call fucking Major Tony Nelson. And because he's got Jeannie's bottle. He put Jeannie's bottle in her a couple of times. So it probably made the same noise. I just got to find out what the fuck I'm dealing with here. Because I'll be honest with you, that bottle was wedged up there, and it wasn't going anywhere. And I'm about to put my cock in there. I just want to make sure that I'm going to get it back by the end of the evening, because I don't want to have to lock up and try to get a neighbor to turn a hose on us and let us go. I don't want to have to get Marlon Perkins to tag my ear and go, this is what happens when you let them lock up and they fucking turn a garden hose on me and I get a fucking release. So I'm just staring at the bottle, and she's on me, and I lean forward again, and also the bottle is fat. Like, again, I don't know. That's a serious task to try to live up to that. And so then I like leaned into her ear, and I'm just like, all right, are you ready for me to fuck you now? Like, 'cause I don't know what to say. I mean, I'm good at really like horrible dirty talk, but as far as like passionate, that kind of thing with a drunk chick who just had a beer bottle wedged all the way up to her fucking liver. Because part of me wants to go, hey, do you want to fuck now? And the other part of me wants to go, should I call Ripley's? What the fuck is wrong with you? And she sits up and she smiles at me and she reaches down into my lap and she grabs my dick and she's like, are you ready to fuck me now? And I'm like, yeah. And she goes, great. And she takes the beer out of my hand and she drinks it. So this night started with one hand on a beer and one hand on my cock. Nothing's changed.
Oh
See, I can't tell that story. Her name was Angie. Yeah. So my new CD, The Big Angry, is on sale. Like I said, you can go to the Joe Business page and order it through there and get a $15 autographed copy.
my god.
And also, you know what? I will be appearing live in Austin at the Coldwater Theater. And I will also be appearing live in Green Bay, November 2nd, at the Green Room Lounge. So if anybody out there wants to come to the show and have a beer... Tickets are on sale now at brownpapertickets.com. And you know what? It's a bonus if you live close to the venue. I can tell you that. I don't know if I'm renting a car. I don't know how I'm getting around there. But if you live close to the venue, make sure you come on out to the show. That'd be perfect. I'm human lunch meat. I'm nobody. I'm baloney in pants. God damn it. Why do I think I'm somebody special? Why do I think I'm anybody interesting? I'm not. All I bring to the table is everything that everybody else does, but louder. Don't hit snooze on me, motherfucker. I am a hilarious noise machine. I'm going to tell you this. You need to sit down and reevaluate your life if you can pull 2 midget Indian wrestlers out of your skull at any time. You know what? I don't even need you people here. Seriously, I do this. I love me. I don't give a fuck what you think, how you think. God damn it, I'm the greatest. I can't go for Schmidt. No, no. No can do. 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 No can do.